Show! Appreciate you guys all being here. Happy Thursday. Good evening to you one and all. I'm UltimatDJz joining us on the panel for the first time in almost 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, he is indeed the Green Griffin. Welcome.
It's been almost a month.
My goodness.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to see everybody. Happy Thursday.
So glad to have you back and glad to have you guys here in our live studio audience. Thank you so much. Whether you're listening live, whether you're listening in iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, Podbean, or any of the other podcast playback apps, we welcome you in. Appreciate you. Thank you for downloading our content and listening to this very, very important forward-looking show tonight. We've got a lot to report to you and a lot of discussions and a lot of information that's got to come back to the SVP's office within the next 6 days. We're going to talk all about it. And in our live studio audience right now, Griffin, are the players who are going to get us started. Let's check in with the Talking Track server sound off. You guys go ahead and punch it up in chat. And we welcome Zek on server 84, kicking us off tonight. Thank you, Zek. Stradalorian on 9. Game Junior says server 30. And welcome back, Griffin. Thank you very much. Noon Whistle also over here on server 29. Thank you so very much. Johnny 5 on server 44. We got Kevin on 145. Enterprise on 30. Star Fox on European 153. Thank you, Blade on server 26. Tabby Moses, server 20, 1218 on 98. Tacos Chemtech on 703. Tarpy joining us on server 30. Tiny Mama 67. J-Babes on 13. The big winner. J-Babes, what's up?
Yeah.
Q-Dog on 701. Turmoil on 63. Plugster on 188. Manxman 24. Walker, server 42 here. What's up? Task Force Scorpio on server 53. Scrappy 1 on 137. Benny Hills Ghost on 42. Silvertap 33. Cruzito server 13 with my streak intact and all ships repaired.
Unlike you.
Feel like that's a dig. Raskar, server 30 representing Draven on 89. Striker on 49. Angel Grinder 701. Fun Daddy also on 701. Vic on 33. Susie Q on 74. And Alicia 701. Star Fox 153. Thad on the flagship server 15. Thank you. Samus Aran on 57. Trek Diva 86. Martok European 137. Thumbelina on 24. Your Way on server 30. Guffa on 710. Beam Me Up on 17. And my goodness, look at that.
The list goes on and on.
The list goes on and on and on. We got like 45 more messages in the Talking Trek server sound off. And during our introduction, received a very healthy raid of Tiberians. Good evening, Tiberians. Welcome. The Tiberiites are here. Thank you guys so very much. I drink and I know things. Server 76, love your name. That's fantastic. Bowden on 138, thank you. Mark on server 114 over in our YouTube chat. Thank you guys for watching on all of the platforms here so very much. Tib says we came for more leaks. Well, we've got some of those for you here tonight. We do, in fact, have some leaks. Although, I'm pretty sure, Tibbs, you guys got most of them out. All right, I feel like you guys got them all out of the way today, so I get to actually play by the rules today.
Oh,
yay, me!
No, we leak like a sieve around here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, everything is great. I love this. We're going to talk a little bit about this tonight, Griffin. The impact that the CC program has had in the last 24 hours, which I freaking love. Okay, I think that this is how this program should have been for the last 7 years, and what they're actually giving, they're empowering the CCs to do in the last 24, really the last 2 weeks, but really within the last 24 hours. Just brings a pitter-patter to my heart. So we're going to talk about...
It's a huge paradigm shift, and I can't wait to get into that, for sure.
It really, really is. As a matter of fact, it's so much of a paradigm shift that I don't have to talk about anything because all of the other content creators did already. So what we can do is waste a little bit of time and check in with the Talking Trek newsroom. Ladies and gentlemen, live from all across the world, it is indeed time for the Talking Trek Stupid News. Oh, come on, this button.
Oh,
every
you missed
single
your
time
post.
this
Come
button.
on.
God, it's every time. This stupid button.
What kind of dog and pony show is this?
God bless it.
We apologize.
I press the button, nothing happens.
Sure you did.
A Florida man was arrested after troopers stopped him for driving more than 90 miles per hour and found 34 open cans of White Claw inside his car, proving
I know how to party.
proving once again that Griffin was, in fact, not aware of the fact that there are laws while you're drinking claws. All right.
Oh, this is the free state of Florida, people. You can have at least 40 White Claws in your car, no problem.
Yeah, everything is fine. McDonald's is bringing back fried apple pies for the first time in 30 years. Do you realize it's been 30 years since you guys got the fried apple pie at McDonald's?
It's been 30 years since I tried to order an apple pie. I didn't know they were gone, but lo and behold.
God, the first time in 30 years as a part of a limited time promotion celebrating America's 250th birthday. The question that we have for our audience is, what's more American than apple pie? The answer is deep fried apple pie from McDonald's. You got it.
Food, folks, and fun.
Coincidentally, I'm also perhaps betting that 250 is also what your cholesterol is going to look like after a few of these apple pies. So you got that. New York City. New York City is in the news and getting a brand new area code, which is 465. Anybody from New York here in our chat? You guys get a brand new area code, which will be assigned to new phone numbers across the 5 boroughs once the existing 347 numbers are exhausted. It's still no match yet for the 3 digits New Yorkers dial the most, though, which is 911. We got that. Okay. Yes. Don't get them mixed up. Don't get it mixed up. Mike Myers, Griffin, has confirmed that a 4th Austin Powers movie is officially in the works, ending years of speculation about another sequel. That's right. Mike Myers approached the studio and asked the movie directors and said, "Do I make you money, baby? Yeah, do I?" To which they replied, "Yeah, baby, yeah."
Yeah. I didn't need any corn.
I feel like that was like a 3 out of 10 impression right there. I don't want to do any more Austin Powers.
That's being kind.
I don't want to do any more Austin Powers, please. Don't make me do any more. KFC is in the news. We got McDonald's, so you got to have KFC as well. KFC says that they're beginning their next chapter, Griffin, with a strategy based on boneless chicken updated tenders and expanded sauces. Yeah. Updated tenders. Sounds like the Colonel's working on that promotion to Brigadier General. But the bigger question is, how do you update the tenders?
That does not sound very maha.
Here's what I'm thinking. And I mean, I'm impressed because here I was thinking that chicken tender technology had kind of topped out. All right. I mean, not exactly sure. In other food news, wow, am I hungry today? All the news. In other food news, Pizza Hut is being sold for $2.7 billion as its parent company moves ahead with plans to restructure the struggling chain. I tried to tell them all they had to do was stay afloat, Griffin, until the new Spaceballs movie comes out. Pizza Hut was for sure going to bump sales, all right? But they couldn't make it. Absolutely, they couldn't make it. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is reportedly enlisting the famous private event planner Mark Seed for their upcoming wedding. First of all, didn't know that this was happening. All right, a little bit upset about
wedding?
it. The wedding, yeah, a little bit unhappy about it. However,
do you live under a rock? What are you talking about? You don't know about a wedding between Tay
and Travis Kelce? Well, I mean, maybe I'm just trauma blocking it from my mind, but there is a wedding underway for Madison Square Garden. That's right, Voltron. Taylor rented out Madison Square Garden for a week. And if you thought Knicks fans went nuts, just wait until you see Swifties swarm the garden, okay? You ain't seen nothing yet.
You've never been the same since she dumped you 5 years ago.
I know, right? It's drama. Yeah. Taylor spared no expense, none whatsoever. She even got the Rockettes handing out pigs in a blanket during cocktail hour. So she's very excited.
That's very classy.
Yeah.
Do they kick them to you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a big line. Lastly, sports news, everybody. Tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams. This is actually something, I don't watch a lot of tennis, but I will watch this. Tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams are set to compete together at Wimbledon Championship for the first time in a decade after receiving a wild card entry in women's doubles. That is a true story. And they have not, listen, it's been more than a decade since they actually played together. So I'm actually really excited about that. There's no joke there, really. I just kind of wanted to share that with you, and I want to watch it.
Well, it is stupid news.
No, nice to know. I do have a joke. Nice to know that between these two sisters, it's nothing but love, love.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
Well, here was the thing. I've read that, and I was thinking, as soon as I started reading the story, I was like, yeah, I think I want to abandon this one. I think I need to drop it, but it was too late. I had already started. My brain was like sounding the alert 3 seconds after my mouth started reading the story, Griffin. And at that point, it was too late to abort.
You pulled it out in the end. We're all very proud of you.
It was, I know, it was very cringeworthy. I tried to abort. My brain is screaming, red alert! You got to dump this one. I couldn't get out of it. I tried. Man,
I was. Is Tarpitude muted? Because that was a prime opportunity for one of her famous. That's what she said, but it never came.
I muted myself because I was groaning at how bad that joke was.
Oh, come on. It's a love joke. That is wholesome entertainment right there. That's not dirty. That's not suggestive. There's no innuendo. That's just a funny play on words. Okay?
Oh, I made it wildly dirty. You'll have to go back to the replay for that one.
Yeah.
Whoa, what did you do?
It doesn't matter.
Not enough time.
Keep going.
Everything's fine.
It's a G-rated show, man.
We don't have time for this.
It's a G-rated show. Fine. Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate it. Welcome. Wait, chat knows what the joke was. I'm going to have to go back in and listen. I'm going to have to go back and find out what it was. Okay, moving right along. Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. Welcome in. My name is UltimatDJz. That's Griffin. Lots to go over today. And Tarpy, the first thing that I want to do is actually kind of segue from the game into some of the communications that we got today. So first of all, I'm actually going to turn this first segment over to Tarpy because we did actually get something new in the game today. And if you're listening in podcasts, I'd like to explain to you guys what that is and why it's important, Tarpy, when it comes to the blog posts and the communication we got. And then we're going to transition into even more communication today that seems to have lit the world on fire. Whether it's good or bad, we're going to discuss with you guys. So, Tarpy, first of all, there's all these new definitions for claims. Tell me a little bit about what it is that we're looking at.
So what we're looking at is, I think, the first in a series of changes that Scopely is going to try and do that really just kind of expedites and makes the player experience a little bit better. And it's not necessarily anything that we're going to notice immediately. So some of the stuff that they're thinking about is going to be on the back end. So what this literally says is bundle claim improvements. So what is that and why do we care? So every time you open up a faction bulk claim, for example, or just literally open a chest, there is a process that goes on in the game that says, hey, this player has clicked this button, please do the thing and give them rewards based on RNG or flat get the stuff. And so what they're doing now is they're kind of streamlining that process so that way it's actually faster for the servers, it's faster for the player, and it makes the game experience a little bit better.
One of the leaks that I'm going to add to this, Tarpy, which hasn't yet made it into the game, and we are expecting it to happen, I believe, in M92. It's not here yet. Is in particular, folks, if you guys have your settings to fly out. All right. The frequent game animations, which, by the way, I don't usually leave that on. All right. I usually don't leave that on because when we build ships, we want to see it, right? There's that. Or sometimes we want to check our rewards, Griffin. We want to see those things. However, sometimes people, am I not shielded? No, I've got a shield up 10 hours.
Are.
We're good. I got a shield up. I got cracked earlier. It's not a big deal. Anyway,
I have a shield up till the end of stream. It's okay.
10 hours. We're good. So, what a lot of times
to the end of stream.
Yeah. What other people will sometimes do if they've got those frequent animations on, all right, then they will click a button, and what ends up happening, let me find a one that I want to click. There's probably not a whole lot in here, but if you find one that that you're going to click, the frequent animations will actually just pop up on screen. Here's a perfect one. Pops up on screen. It doesn't take you to another claim screen. You just click it and you go. All right. Now, one of the things that they are working on that is right now scheduled for M92, which may or may not be ready yet, is the first in 3 staged rollouts for claims. Matt Hatter says, I like to see my rewards. I'm kind of the same way. So that's why I've got mine disabled as well. I like to see what I'm getting. However,
that's what they did wrong with that whole thing. If there's 20 rewards that you're claiming, they show you 20 icons for half a second and then they're gone.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I agree.
Well,
I like to see the rewards as well.
Of a flyout.
However, Tarpy's right. The flyout saves time. The problem that we have experienced, if there is one, because it does save time, is that you still can only click one at a time. Okay, you can still only click one at a time. So if we were running through and we were going to click this button, and then you see we're spinning in circles, right? And I've got to wait until I can click this button. And then I've got to wait until I can click the next button. You guys will all see this if you have flyouts turned on. Well, there are already this one, Tarpy, they have added to the technological backend to improve this process and make it a little bit quicker. However, what will be coming in phase 2 of this, which, by the way, admittedly, in my book, this is a small thing, but this is infrastructure. This is stability. This is some of the stuff that Cam's been talking about. This new multi-claim that I heard a couple of the creators talking about earlier today from this blog post, Tarpy, is going to allow multiple clicks at once. In other words, if I've got 5 bundles on my screen and I just want to go through and click, 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 and not wait for the circle to stop, guess what? It's actually going to work. It's going to work. All right. And you're going to not have to wait for the flyout to occur and the store to refresh and all that stuff. This multi-claim process is going to actually allow multiple clicks. Now, Vic says, are you sure? We saw a demonstration of it. Yeah, I saw a demonstration. That's what they're saying it's going to do. But you also have to keep in mind as well, it's only going to work for bundles where you see a definitive price right up front. If you have to enter the bundle, right, like, for example, this one here, you enter the bundle where you've got multiple options, it's not going to necessarily work there. But for something that you're going to click through quickly, so where are those options? Well, I can tell you right now, a big one could be in Maverick Faction. Now, this is a weird thing to me. This is a weird thing to me because you really would only find benefit in this if you didn't have your bulk claim.
Or it's things for menus that don't have bulk claim available. So like the territory tab in the store version or the artifacts tab there. If you need a lot of multi-phasics fairly quickly for an alliance tournament maybe. But it's more the idea that they're doing this here and that they're going to be improving it over time too, and kind of starting with a slow implementation to make sure that it works in the less complicated areas before they try and implement the full thing in the whole game everywhere.
Agreed. And by the way, I want to point out something that is from a developer in chat. And by the way, big shout out. I don't know that people realize this, but Guffa, who's been a longtime player, who actually left the community a couple of years ago, spent a couple of years away from the game, and then recently came back. Also a computer programmer, a developer, code writer, who's been helping the mod guys. And actually contributed, by the way, just as a point of reference, nobody may know this, but actually contributed code into the latest mod update that just came out today. So super huge shout out to Guffa.
There you go, Guffa.
One of the newest community contributors here. Thank you so much. Guffa says you're missing the underlying tech, though, DJs. It sounds like they are, quote, expanding the capabilities of the client-server relationship. Ding dong. You got it.
Weird.
Amazing. Okay. You're absolutely right, Guffa. As a matter of fact, Tarpy and I were a part of a meeting this past week. Jules was there as well, where we actually got to talk to one of the engineers face to face.
Where was I? Why do I never exist in your mind?
Bro.
Were you working there?
You were invited.
I was there.
Oh, you were there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew you were there. You're just. And Griffin was obviously there as well. Okay. You don't have to be green anymore.
I quit the show.
You don't have to be green anymore. You look great today. By the way, have you lost a little bit of weight? You lost a little bit of weight? Your jawline. It's great. But anyway, DJ fail. Listen, in fairness, Griffin always lives in my heart.
Taste of foot.
Buddy, I missed you a lot these last 2 weeks.
I'm gonna start inviting other content creators.
I had to learn to be without you. 2 weeks, you left me alone. 2 weeks.
Please.
I couldn't call.
I was such bad company.
I couldn't call.
That you are now saying this to Griffin.
Get on with your pathetic little story. We're running out of time.
Anyway, the engineers that we got a chance to talk to gave us in-depth information about exactly that, Guffa. About exactly that, about how they're changing. Now, by the way, I do not know what this means. I'm going to give you one quote. This is how over my head this whole thing was. Guffa, you'll probably know exactly what I'm talking about. All you code guys out there, you're going to know. They're changing the communication method, language, whatever. They're simplifying it to do bits. I don't know. They basically said that they're like simplifying the interactions between the server and the client down to like ones and zeros, which I thought was always like digital stuff. But anyway, what they
milliseconds from 30 milliseconds to 6 milliseconds. Not that I was there or heard the meeting or paid any attention.
We're talking that they are reducing. Here's the thing. And this, by the way, they've already been running this. This was their actual results. And I don't know how long it had been, 7 days, 14 days, whatever. They've reduced bandwidth from the client to the server by 80%. 80%. Algorma says they might have gone from JSON to proto buffs. Sure. I don't know what a proto buff is, but
he's now checking his exocomps to see if proto buffs have been added in there. I mean,
all right. Vic says, DJs, listen, 80% of base is really not a whole lot when you look at an efficiency model kind of thing. All right.
Oh God.
But
true.
It's true. But this is what we're talking about is the reduction in bandwidth. Now, some of this has. I see Inascule Inch says lag is worse than ever. To be honest with you, that's not been my experience. However, this is not fully rolled out yet. All right, some of it has, but they've got more that is coming in. And again, more of these multiple phase things. The big thing is, that's right, Guffa. The big thing is they're sending less stuff back and forth, 80% less is what they said, Griffin, reducing the amount of stress on the servers and all this stuff. And again, this is way over my head. I'm looking at notes. I don't know what any of this means. Other than I'm hearing 80% less bandwidth. We know what bandwidth does. So that's cool.
And this is 80% less bandwidth in a very specific situation. So just like a lot of the problems in STFC, some of them are very, very like, oh, the GS31 beam had lag. So that is actually maybe one problem. Like all of their problems might be small. And so it's just group.
Oh yeah.
Like all of the problems together. So they're fixing one small thing at a time.
Which is how you got to do it.
Nickels and dimes for everything else.
Exactly.
It's going to do that here too.
Exactly. A very, very solid point. Another thing that this was shared with some of the other content creators, and I see that people are asking about this, which I think is cool, and I'm going to try to connect the dots. Iron Fister says, I think this should help in arenas and very busy systems. Bro, they're actually developing a special communication mode for
Surge mode.
Boost mode. Sorry, nice try.
Boost mode.
It's called
I like Surge better.
Boost mode.
We should go with Surge mode. Well, I'm renaming it Surge mode.
Search mode. There you go. They're creating a process. And again, guys, this is something that really I should not be the one talking to you about this. This should be like the tech guys, like Jules or Netniv or Chronox should be talking about this. This is not my thing.
I suggested maybe you get a special guest to come on and talk about it.
We should probably do that. We should probably do that to talk about the engineering stuff, okay? But
yeah,
they are creating something, Iron Fister, called Boost Mode, which is Surge Mode. That is, that's true. Netniv is banned. How do we fix that? Forgot about that. So this boost mode is specifically for high traffic systems, Fisty, arenas, incursions, surge. Obviously, that's why it's called surge mode. Waves or anything. As a matter of fact, there's a criteria for it, Griffin. If there are more than 70 territory capture, thank you, Clark. If there are more than 70 ships in the system, it will be automatically activated boost mode, which is also then automatically dedicating more resource power processing thingies, more RAM. They're getting more RAM. It's more
territory capture. What a terrible outdated mechanic. Why would we ever need a boost mode or a surge mode for that? Forget it. Next.
More than 70 ships might be present. Okay, you never know. I mean, maybe some people still play in territory capture. Maybe, I don't know, just maybe there could be reasons that you would want to look at that. Not right now, because obviously the map will be reset if they ever do revisit any content that could be happening in the next little bit. But you never know. Things like that could happen. Okay, so boost mode. Okay. Fullman says assaults. No, you don't have more than 70 ships.
We definitely need it for assaults.
You do not.
You clearly require surge mode.
Do not need
What's an assault?
for that.
Guys, they're assaults.
Assaults. What's an assault?
So, anywho, there is that. Okay, and that's not wildly inaccurate, Shelby. There's a culture problem here. Shelby writes, engineers would have told anyone who wanted to listen that there are problems here. Leadership ignored. Well, that is certainly a possibility. We know that there are culture problems here. That's absolutely not in doubt that there are culture problems here. Cam has identified that. That's one of the big three things, one of the three pillars that he is focused on working on through his investigation. And when he comes back to the States, we've got tech infrastructure, we got economy, and we've got culture, okay? These are the three big pillars of things that he is going to be working at, and all three of those things are going to be surrounding one KPI. They're looking at one key performance indicator, Tarpy.
Oh, yeah, right? Huh?
Wait,
yeah.
Should we have gotten Griffin a key or a legend for all of the
key performance indicator, KPI?
I know what a key performance indicator is.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Just like I know what the three pillars are. I know all that stuff.
Okay. So, key performance indicator, KPI. The KPI that they're looking at, Griffin, crazy enough, is actually not revenue. Star Fox, you are correct.
What?
Money should never be a KPI. It is not. Okay, I actually put this in my video earlier today. This absolutely blows my mind. Do you know how to use the 3 seashells, Kaviji? I don't know how to use the 3 seashells. What about the 3 seashells?
I know that
Griffin, do you know how to use the 3 seashells?
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Is it bad that I literally don't know what you're talking about?
What?
Okay, we need to keep moving. Talk about STFC stuff.
Key performance.
We're key performance initiative that are not money. It is fair to say, perhaps, hypothetically, maybe, that perhaps money was a KPI in the past, but no longer.
Perhaps? Really? Or
maybe.
Maybe? Well, here's what Cam is looking at. and this brings me delight. I giggled. I had to mute my microphone and giggle during this presentation, because the exact words that I have been told are wrong for 6 years, the exact words that have come out of my mouth no less than 1 gajillion times came out of Cam's mouth.
Huh? You were right all along.
You want to know what it is?
You
want to know what it is?
Oh, I know. Pick me.
Griffin,
me. Yes.
1,000 bonus points if you know what it is.
Yeah, Mr. DJz, the answer to the question is happy players spend money. Did I win the 3-day weekend to Acapulco?
No, but you did win the right to play 7 days in a row and log into the game and keep your streak. All right, which is another thing
that makes me happy.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Wait, Griffin is streaking every day?
Yeah. Now, here's the deal. All right, I see this in chat, and by the way, Paul, you are not wrong. Paul says that's silly. Money is always the KPI. This is not socialism. You know what? I totally agree with you, Paul. But you know what? It doesn't have to be in that direct order. As a matter of fact, Cam believes that revenue is a byproduct of a good product.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
Smart cookie.
That sounds crazy. Okay. And by the way, we've totally proven this 1,000,000% on this show. We've proven it in this community. The VIPs have proven it. Every community has ever proven it. Okay. Zombie says, what's a KPI? Key performance indicator, a goal of the company, something that they are tracking very, very closely. And their KPI, their number one KPI right now,
not money,
is a statistic or a tracking mechanism known as RP, regular players. Now, I put this in our YouTube video earlier today. This is not a term that I am used to. Some of you game development folks or software development folks probably know exactly what this is. But a regular player, they define as a player who engages with the game 7 days a week. In other words, every single day. Every single day. A regular player is a player who plays the game every day.
Okay? I got that wrong. I thought it was a player who regularly takes their Metamucil. So I'm glad we cleared that up. I was going to say
that they're a consistent regular player every day. That's a healthy goal.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Healthy every,
okay.
They're regular.
Stop it. Day. Stop it. You're yelling at me to keep the show on the rails, and you're talking about poop.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. J-Babe says, I am a regular player. Tony Pie says, how is a day counted? You want to know? You want to know how a day is counted, Tony Pie? Well, they implemented it. You guys know if you're a regular player. Streaks.
Oh, the streak.
The streak. Now, here's the crazy thing. Okay. The streak is a totally other piece of this conversation that we did have a conversation about. We talked about it. I mentioned this in the video. I lost my streak. Lube lost their streak. Okay. A lot of you guys have had accidents or real life things and you've lost your streak. Okay. So the streak is a very hot point of contention. Griffin, stop talking about poop.
I'm muted. You're the one talking about being regular and having streaks in your pants. And
you're not actually muted. That's the problem. You're not muted.
Not enough streaking is the other thing. Like, that's the hilarious part of this.
I'm going to mute everybody. Hey, Bowden, stop with the poop emojis, bro. Come on. Now the chat's just eating this up. The chat's just going with it now. Poop emojis everywhere. No more poop emojis. All right. No, listen, so regular players, somebody who logs in 7 days. Now, I think that we can all admit, and by the way, I called this a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago, whenever they released bulk claim, they're trying to get people to log in all 7 days in a row because a lot of us aren't. Okay? Myself included. Now, you guys all argued that this was probably not the right mechanism or the right engine in which to do that. Certainly not with a quality of life situation. You guys argued that it should be a reward. right? And there should be a difference between rewards and quality of life or technological improvements. All right. Zombie says, I log in every day. I have no life. Well, but most of us do, Zombie. But then that one time that you don't, and now you're Cruzito's not going to like the choice of word, but you're punished for 7 days. You get more clicks. You missed a day. So now you get to click 10 times more than everybody else for 7 days.
It's insult to injury, because we all know that the reason why you miss a login streak is never a self-created problem. In my case, it's always Penguin, right? She has me doing something. I can't log in. A whole day goes by. Now I lose my streak. Who do you think's going to bear the brunt of that for a week? Me? No. Penguin is. So, something's got to change around here.
Punishments will continue until morale is improved. Kind of that thing.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing. Waffly says, I disagree. The 7-day thing is not a hot button issue. I think maybe not to you, Waffly, and admittedly, I said for me, it was not the end of the world for me either. Is it disappointing? Sure. Is it inconvenient? Does it taste bad? Yes. Okay. But it was not the end of the world to me. Okay. But it was something that was important to the community, Waffly, and that is my job. It's my job as a representative of this community. I try my best to get everybody's perspective. Sometimes I can't, even if I agree or disagree. I always take that stuff back. This is a thing that a lot of people have been talking about. We had to go and talk about it. All right. Good news is, I think in the very near future, we're going to see a change with that, because Cam is actively investigating. Okay, well, let's pretend this was the question. If we're going to give bulk claim to everybody, and that was an if, then I want to keep the 7-day login. Why? It makes total sense why he wants to keep it, guys, because that is the number one thing that Cam is wanting to focus on, is increasing the number of regular 7-day players. They want to take 3-day players and bump them up to 5. They want to take 5-day players and bump them up to 6. They want to take 6-day players and bump them up to 7. So he is very married to the streak. As a matter of fact, I did even say, Griffin, one of my ideas was like, hey, make this easy. Take away the interstitial. Set the streak requirement to 1. You don't have to code anything, and just everybody gets bulk claim. He's like, no, DJs, I can't do that. All right, Cam, let's talk about it. Why not? He's like, dude, the 7-day streak is very important to me. Go ahead, Griffin.
Being efficiency and economy focused, I'm very surprised that Cam has not already relented to untying such an important quality of life feature, and instead having them build something that's like a ever evolving efficiency and an improving efficiency, to where if you log in 7 days in a row, maybe you get a 300 times bonus on your efficiency, whatever the number is, hypothetical number, but that's how you get these players to log in. If I'm spending a third or half of the resources because I've logged in 10 days in a row, I am not missing that login. So really, tying that to efficiency, in-game efficiency, particularly resource efficiency, is, I can't stress that enough, because what other resource efficiencies are in the game? Nothing. It's their bread and butter. So why not do that?
Very interesting that you bring that up, because that was something that I was able to follow up with him in a direct couple of minute back and forth conversation, was about the 7-day streak. He said, DJs, I'm not getting rid of it. All right. I need the streak. I need regular players to go back up. I want more people logging back into my game every day. Okay.
Oh, well, then, Cameron, we've got something even better for you.
You got it.
Than your 7-day streak.
You got it. Now, we talk about the bulk claim, and I think in this conversation, we were able to agree that quality of life should not be a reward. And by the way, this was direct quotes that I took from chat. Because, again, you got to remember, this doesn't fire me up quite the same as it does for you guys. Okay, in all fairness, this is not, as Waffly says, this is not a hot button issue for me. So I relied on your verbiage. I relied on your reasoning, chat, which was, hey, You know, quality of life should not be a reward. A reward should be something extra. It should be a bonus. It should be, you know, a progression-based item, but not basic technological function. Okay? So I use these words. And Shelby says reward is the key definition. Agreed, Shelby. And again, these were your words. Your guys' words. These were your guys' words, that rewards should be different than a technological stability-based improvement. He agreed. He said, no, I can absolutely see that point. So then he turned it around. And this is homework question number 1, chat, that I need to put out there. And I shared this with all the content creators. I said, go forth. Share this question. This is a huge question, chat, because I feel like we have a unique opportunity right here now, a unique opportunity to actually community-wide group think tank style feedback session here. We've got an opportunity to influence things very quickly and very important to us right here and right now.
Okay.
So question number 1 from Senior Vice President Cameron Stewart is, if we give bulk claim to everybody, and I want to maintain the importance and the draw and the attractiveness of logging into the game every single day, what is it? What is that 7-day bonus? I came up with, and here were his key words. I need it to be easy. I need it to be like he used the words passive, something that I can plug and play, something that can just go, something that I'm not going to need people to program. I'm not going to need people to refresh it every single week. And by the way, these are intelligent questions. These are intelligent parameters. Okay, he's trying to future-proof this mechanic so that he can focus his team on other things, which, by the way, is very indicative of some of the stuff that we've seen from him and heard from him already, which is, hey, I'm wanting my people to go back. 75% of my team is working on previous content and technological infrastructure and stability.
Cleaning up the streets.
Cleaning up the streets. There is absolutely 100% chance to believe, or 100% reason to believe, that he is going to say, hey, listen, I want a long-term path. I want a strategy for this feature so that it will continue to serve for 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, whatever, and we don't have to maintain it. Because this is the problem that Fleet Command has right now. We see an ARC launch, and then, like, nothing ever changes. Revenant never changed. The refinery was never fixed and or scaled. No feature has ever changed. Look at Swarm, right? Who still cap out at level 50 hostiles. Well, until I guess the other thing came along. But nothing ever scales. Once they launch an ARC, it's done. They never go back. And he verified that by saying 100% of the team is currently tasked on new feature development. That is mind-boggling to me.
It is crazy.
Mind-boggling. You know, another one that's very, very recent that the community did kind of like, Tarpy, was, Echoes of V'ger.
Yeah.
That was promised monthly. We've seen it recur one time. One time.
Sad.
Okay, this is because nobody thinks about anything after it comes out. 100% of the team was dedicated to new content development. Insane, insane that was the model.
Yeah.
No longer.
75% of development is being retasked towards existing content and technological infrastructure. Now, by the way, existing content doesn't necessarily mean cleaning up old events or cleaning old loops but it involves using the old loops and freshening them up.
Refreshing is the right word. We're refreshing. We're like that little mint air freshener, the pine tree hanging from your rearview mirror right now.
That's right. 75% of the team is going to be looking at things that already exist in the game and finding a way to make them relevant again.
You know, DJs, they could do that for 2 years. I'm not kidding.
Absolutely, they could. Mazed Up says that's how it should be. And I got to be honest with you, I genuinely feel like this is how he's wanting to solve this progression issue that we've got up here in G7. All right. And G6 and G5 and G4 and G3. I think that he's like saying, hey, we're going to pump the brakes on generational releases. You guys have 7 years of content here, of which 6 years and 9 months of it you completely ignore.
I know.
It's crazy.
You know what the best part is? And I look forward to asking him this at a later date after things are kind of solidified and calmed down, maybe around Christmas. This couldn't have been just Cameron's open the door, see a problem, knows where to point and shoot. He probably found some really, really, really great mid-leadership people, mid-level, who had this idea all along and were just finally listened to.
Oh, dude. Listen, I mentioned this in the video earlier today, and I'm glad you bring this up. This is another thing that I think is super important to point out from the conversation was he's had over 50 meetings, one-on-ones with staff from all different levels, game design, engineering, live ops, art, narrative. I mean, all these people. He's had over 50, he said, one-on-ones, and he started almost every single one with the same question. And we mentioned this morning on Ultra Show, which I love this question. I think this is a question that we should be asking all of ourselves. If you could do anything with this game, what would you do? And it wasn't necessarily, in my opinion, he didn't say this. This is my opinion from somebody who recognizes the kind of work that Cameron is doing. Because I feel like, to a much lesser scale, I feel like I'm a fixer as well. I do that with my normal job every single day. That question serves two purposes. One is you're looking for some ideas, right? You're looking for something that you can do with the game. But more importantly, Griffin, and I bet you know where I'm going with this, more importantly, you're looking for the people who have the passion to enact change.
Yeah, you are empowering people to actually say yes instead of explaining to them how to say no.
This question is a powerful question because it helps weed out those who don't care about the product or are not willing to put it in or just feel like this is just a hop, skip, and a jump towards another job or something that they decided to get into because their pizza delivery route got canceled.
Their Pizza Hut delivery route?
Yeah. This was a question that he asked to find those of which he could surround himself who wanted to put in the passion and the energy to make it work. Because here was another thing. And I'm teetering very much on the edge here of what I want to share, but I think it's all good. He also believes in failure. He believes in failure. To be specific, he believes in the learning power of failure. Okay? And to that end, he's using things that are happening right now in the game as learning opportunities. Polar Bear says they're very good at that. Yes, they are. They really are.
The thing is, in order to truly fail at something, you must have first tried.
And that right there is a really important thing. So, yes, let me add that caveat. Thank you, Griffin, for that. Let me add this caveat. Let me rephrase. Cameron is okay failing so long as you put everything you had into it. Mm-hmm. You put everything you had into it. That's right. He specifically said. That's right. He specifically said, I will not tolerate failure due to lack of energy, passion, talent, attention, detail, anything that demonstrates somebody's willingness to get it right. I'm willing to accept human mistakes.
And when you ask a question like, what would you change about the game as your lead in, you could tell who's got the lights on, but nobody's home versus somebody who's actually plugged in and thinking about a product. It's brilliant.
Now, Gray Saber says failure only matters when there are consequences. You know, Saber, I agree.
It's not that kind of failure. It's not that kind of failure. Lack of participation requires consequences. Repeated failure due to incompetence obviously would require consequences. But trying something and failing is great. That means that, just ask Elon Musk. I mean, the more you try and fail at something, the better you're going to revise your plan and do something even better.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. I mean, Elon is a good example. He's intentionally blown up $100 million rockets for for learning. Okay, for learning. So here's what we're looking at, Sabers. You say failure matters when there are consequences, and let me read this statement to you again. I believe in the learning power of failure, so long as that failure was the result of 100% energy, effort, and passion. I will not.
That's some angry typing. Who's mad?
That's Tarpy. And I'm gonna rephrase. I'm not gonna rephrase. I'm gonna reiterate. I will not tolerate failure due to subpar energy, passion, or talent.
Boom.
There, Saber, I believe, is the consequence that you might be looking for. Okay?
Definitely.
I think that might be the consequence you're looking for. And I will agree, the consequence that maybe has not existed in the game for the last 7 years. Tibbs, I love this question. I love this point. I'm going to raise this up real quick because I don't know if he's here or not, but I love this. Why? What happens when we fall down? Or why do we fall down? Thank you, sorry. Why do we fall down? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up. Tibbs, I love that quote so much, more than you know. That quote means a great deal to me. I love that. Thank you for writing that.
Huh. I wonder if Tiberius likes The Adjustment Bureau. That's a great film. It's from that film.
Well, that's also from Batman.
Yes, it's from many places, but I just saw that. Listen,
but like bats.
Hey, let's not talk about those right now, Cal. Okay.
I just wanted you to know that we're meeting with them next week.
You're meeting with who? Batman? Like Alfred?
Oh, Bruce is hanging out. All right. Now, Envenadia says these are cool feelings from the SVP and all, but obviously the people working there do not learn from their failures as they keep making the same. They keep making the same mistakes.
This is a point that no, they're not making the same mistake, and that's the whole point.
Explain.
They're led to the same trough to drink from year after year after year, and that depends on what your KPI is, where you're focused, what direction you're all pushing. Right? That's what makes a boss versus a leader. And I'm telling you right now, just long story short, or endless as the case may be, this Cameron guy, he is a true leader. He is nobody's boss. He is a leader. He listens. He knows where to go. He knows where to aim. He knows when to shoot. He knows who to listen to. And he knows how to empower people to say yes and to make a better product. And when you change your KPI from something monetary to something engagement related, you're going to do nothing but succeed. So this is the Yahtzee moment for all of you who still haven't bought into what's really happening here. Whoever was leading the pack before, not saying anything about them right now, but who's leading the pack now is somebody who actually is an advocate for the customer. That's you. That's me. That's everybody listening. And I don't know that that has always been the case, but I can say for sure that Cameron is an advocate for the customer because I see the changes that he's making. I'm seeing who he is empowering and what he's empowering them to do. And he's really employing common sense to bring the enjoyment of you, the player, the customer, to the forefront. Any company who puts the customer first and has an advocate for the customer on top is going to be a successful company.
Now, I'm going to say that at the same time, giving the same warning that Cameron gave me. One of his 3 pillars is economy. And he has told me this economy is borked. All right. Now, we may agree, we may disagree. I know a lot of players are talking about things being less rewarding and so forth. And I do believe that Cameron is pumping the brakes on a lot of things right now to get a fuller grasp of what's going on in the economy. But he says economy is absolutely destructive. All right. So this is where some players are going to depart from the warm, fuzzy feelings. But we've said, and even Putz has said, listen, we're going to need a reset. Putz doesn't like the word rebalance. We're going to need a reset on economy. Shiz says the bigger question is, which way does he see it as being borked, for players or for Scopely? Why can't it be both? We've actually all agreed that Dolomite Primes were one of the worst things that ever happened to this game. Why? Because all it did was raise prices.
It increased inflation dramatically.
And it raised prices. Okay? I am not an economist. I don't fully understand this whole thing, even in a real world scenario. I don't get it all, okay? I don't understand that. But Dolomite Primes were one of the worst things that ever happened to the game. The best economy that ever existed in the game was written by a man named David Eckleberry.
G3.
And that was G3.
Perfection.
By the way,
textbook.
Guess who's back? Back again.
David Eckleberry.
David E's back. Tell a friend. Okay? David Eckleberry, the man who wrote G3, who invented this game, is back in an advisory capacity to Cameron Stewart and Star Trek Fleet Command.
That's great. That is great news.
That might have been one of the top 3 moments in this whole meeting for me. Okay? That was one of my top 3. I silently cheered. Okay? David E is back. Vic says, we're getting the band back together. Cameron is getting the band back together, bro.
Well, this is again, another amazing thing that is happening besides putting the customer first and advocating for your customer. Cameron is a big anti-siloer. And so instead of building silos and this silo and this silo, the two never shall meet, he's expanding his reach beyond just his game to other games under the Scopely umbrella to form this advisory committee of people who actually know how to advocate for a customer, write a game, make it profitable but not unfair, and how to prioritize to keep everybody happy. This is a great thing. This is the anti-silo, bringing other developers in who are busy working on their own things and advising on your bubble is revolutionary, but it shouldn't be. It's common sense. But instead of trying to create your own wheel 1,000 different times for the 1,000 different games that are under the Scopely umbrella, why don't we talk together? Let's get all the smart people in a room and let's talk about what all of our problems are and help each other solve them. And that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. I mean, there's absolutely nothing bad to say about that. This is what we've been wanting for years and years and years.
Yeah, absolutely. I was having a conversation. We're going to talk about the product council. That's what they're calling it, the product council. And by the way, it's not just a product council. We've also got an engineering council that has been created by Cam in the last 7 days.
Never have we ever, at this meeting that I wasn't at, obviously, and nobody remembers I was there, for the first time in Hell's Kitchen history, we actually heard from the head of engineering for this game, and he had a lot of wonderful things to talk about. And that was refreshing.
It was, and there was a little bit of insight. And when I was sharing some of this with the content creators, I actually had a really nice back and forth with Pseudo, one of the official content creators. And this was one of the things that we had talked about was technological infrastructure, this engineering council, of which I'm telling you right now, our guys, Pseudo, NetNiv, Chronox, they're foaming at the mouth to serve on this engineering council, and I don't blame them. All right, there's a lot of geeky stuff going on over here. But we were talking about the type of background, some of the great ideas that were circulating in this council, and we were talking about how you plan for software bugs that can actually happen. And Pseudo made the following comment that when you're doing any kind of software design, and Guffey, you'll probably agree with this, when you're doing any kind of software design, there are trade-offs to be made. It's always one of the hardest parts of the job. As long as the people making those decisions understand the product, it's acceptable. But I'm looking at the history of Fleet Command leadership decisions. And by the way, what a politically correct way to say that. All right. Kudos to Pseudo.
Who wrote that?
Pseudo, one of the content creators. He is the maker of STFC.phd. All right. This is one of that was a beautiful way to say, We don't have a solid history of solid decision making over there, Scopes.
Well, that's why you employ new people and new leaders to reprioritize where you're taking your product away from push it out no matter what. Here's your release date. Here's your calendar. Here's how many ships you need. Here's how many arcs you need. I don't care what, come hell or high water. I need this to happen on this date. Do it. Versus what's best for the customer. And that's the complete change here. You see it, you'll see it in the coming months of how content has been reshaped. So I can overcome that. That's a valid objection. You're exactly right. But I can overcome it because I can already see that that has changed. Well, and it's changed for the better.
I think Cam is seeing it. Even I am seeing it in the little pieces of involvement that I have with this investigation, with reading some of these reports, because and they're involving us, which is another thing we're going to talk about later. But I mentioned to Pseudo, I said, I think what he's seeing, and this is a verbatim quote from me, I think what he's seeing and what I'm learning is that a lot of past Fleet Command decisions came from a very small group of decision makers. It would appear to me that a large group of the development team has been, and I wrote in quotations, beaten into submission. The words, ship it anyway. Engineers out there, anybody gonna have panic sweats right now? The words, ship it anyway, are ingrained in their brains and may or may not induce trauma sweats and sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Pseudo responded back to this, says, I'm shocked, I tell you. He says, but sadly, this is all too common in our field. Very often, developers, designers are very unhappy, but we have to ship it anyway because reasons. To be fair, some of those reasons are valid. You can't take forever perfecting something. You've got to make the calls on good enough versus we can't ship this. But very often, the people making those calls don't use the software or don't care about the user experience. I don't even know the number of times in my life where I've championed for fixing something that had crap code, was buggy, slow, or somehow sucked, and I was told, I hear you, but we've got a budget to hit. Ship it anyway.
Yeah.
Here's the culture shift. Let me draw a parallel to this statement from one of ours, a content creator, a community member. Let me draw a parallel. One of the leaks that I gave in the meeting this morning, one of the leaks that has been circulating the community, I say leaks, one of the pieces of information that we've been authorized to share with you that's not otherwise public is our schedule for the next 5 months. M92 coming out relatively as planned. And I do see this comment right here. Marsport says, all talk, no action thus far. Game still a bugged mess. Had to log out. Marsport, I'm going to circle back to that comment because you're right. We still got a lot of problems. Okay, I'm going to circle back to that in just a second. Okay, but M92, that's coming. What are we, 8 days, Tarpy? 8 days?
Yep.
7 days?
Next
whatever.
Thursday.
Next Thursday?
7.
6 days? Whatever,
Yeah.
7 days, whatever.
Whatever next Thursday morning is compared to now.
M92 is coming.
But yeah.
Okay, and for the most part, that content was largely done, and so it will ship. Marsport, to your point, don't know. Haven't been able to play it.
Well, they're still working on a feature. That's all.
2 playtests have now failed. Playtest number 3 is scheduled for early next week. Okay. Now, we don't know what's going to happen with this yet. I guess we're gonna see.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine. M93. I know shit. M93 will be your content pause. That is currently scheduled for Anthology that you guys helped build.
Boom.
Okay. M93 is, as of now, currently scheduled for the Anthology arc that you guys helped build. M94, I'm being told, is going to be a very different feeling arc, as it's going to be slow, less content driven, more experience driven.
Ooh.
And we're going to start to see some of Marsport, to your point, we're going to start to see some of Cam's ideals now come into practice. Because you do got to remember, Marsport, to your point, you say the game is still rough right now. I agree. But it takes time. The development cycle in this game is no less than 120 days, and that's a rush. All right.
Well, and coming up with things like how you claim the stuff out of the game and how to make that a better experience for you, that's not really sexy on paper, but when you play it, you see it and you feel it. Like the day that, like, DJs, I'm not talking to you because you wouldn't know, but for the rest of us, when you log in for the first time and use your GS31 and it immediately hits those 5 things instead of waiting for 3 or 4 seconds first, do you wake the kids and phone the neighbors? No, but you do go, huh, that's better. Now, imagine going, huh, that's better about 50 times. And by the 50th time, you're going to start having a pretty positive feeling. And so that's what we're talking about.
That was an ouch.
And arguably the best improvements are the ones you don't notice.
Correct. Because, they just happen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the kinds that, like Griffin said, they're not sexy on paper because you don't notice them. And so it's the little ones of those over the next several months that are things that we kind of have to collectively keep in mind because we won't notice them. And Scopely traditionally has also been very bad about talking about those little things that they add in that are good.
They are bad about.
That's because of the silos. That's because of the silos. And I'm telling you, those doors are being opened. People are talking to each other. People are showing up into meetings that never involved them before, and they're actually becoming connected as a team and a unit, pulling in one direction. It's like tug of war. Did you know that tug of war was an Olympic sport from 1900 to 1940?
I did not know that.
I do now.
Thank you.
Well, now you do.
Sharing. Thank you. So yeah, development time in this game is roughly 120 days ballpark, and that's why we've still had a couple of arcs that have launched under the old system, if you will. And when I say old system, I mean it's even an old structure, right? Where you got the arc runner and you've got a couple of people and you've got these silos, et cetera, et cetera. One of the structural changes that he's making is accountability and ownership of a feature. To your point, Griffin, you're talking about silos. They are implementing a new process and maybe a process that we used to have, because it does sound familiar to me, where there was a singular owner, one person responsible for the entire arc, but you had a team. You had people working with you, but now that owner was responsible for coordination with
They tried that around
team.
Mirror Universe, and they did it for 3 months.
Yeah, okay, so this is something that we've seen before. All right. Yeah, a DRI, a direct or a DIR, direct individual responsible or direct responsible individual, whatever they call it. There is going to be a head chef, if you will. And then he's going to have all his cooks and his sous chefs and his food runners and everybody reporting to him. But there's going to be one guy calling the shots. That guy or gal is the owner and therefore responsible. Therefore, the one to be held accountable, the one who should be checking the work, the one who should be looking at everybody's work and kind of proofreading and spot checking and making sure that all of his team or her team are coming together and gelling. Okay?
The one who goes, Mr. Game Design. I know that you want to change. I know you want to change how much power you need to kill this ship 12 minutes before launch, but we really need to tell live ops that too, so they can completely address their brackets and their events. See, that person never used to exist.
Wow.
The sneaky sneak would just change their and then live ops would be going, ooh, on the day, and so finally there's somebody watching the whole thing and making sure that the telephone is happening. That's how I hear it. And that is very needed in this structure.
And by the way,
it's also good for career progression for those individuals because it gives them a sense of agency and leadership capability.
Well, sure. Yeah. And it empowers them to make their product successful. Let me point this out. Griffin brings something up really, really valid right there, which is the fact that these people have to communicate with the other departments. Let me ask, how many times have we seen a very clear and natural distinction between what was designed and how ops wrote an event?
Oh, I know. Every month.
What
Every month that
we're
happens.
talking about is how many directives are given. So how many of these things do I have to do for this event? What do you mean I get 2 directives a day, but I've got to do 20 of these things on day 1?
I don't know. Let me look at my notes. Am I looking at version J or K of the spreadsheet? Oh, I missed last week's meeting. I don't know. It should be in here somewhere.
But we plan all of our hostels around ops related, coding. But what if the building is how players are able to hit the feature?
That's right.
Oh,
what
no,
if
we'll just still have them go by ops.
That's exactly
It's
right. That's exactly right. What if the hostels that we're going to hit is dependent on your progress with the ship or within its feature and not necessarily tied to your ops level? Holy smokes. Okay. Mimi says, what do you mean, DJs? Is it 1 start per day or 2 starts? I don't need to go back there, Mimi. I don't need to go back there.
That's a sore subject.
That's almost as sore as my junkers. Okay. So
that's almost as sore as, do we get the loot goblin every 2 minutes or every 29 minutes? And
these
and
are,
who didn't we tell?
Yeah, right. These are the process things. These are the culture things. All right? This is what we're talking about, which, by the way, sounds like it makes sense. Okay. But when you're talking years of process, years of bad habits, or years of not necessarily a bad habit, but a process a certain way, coming in and changing all of that takes a minute. It takes a minute. All right, you're changing habits. You've got to change mindsets. You're rewiring your neuron paths to think in a different way.
And you want it to be the right way the first time, because you don't want to have them go through this whole process again.
No, that would be a waste of time. If I were a betting man, I would guarantee that in those 50 individual meetings that our buddy Cameron has probably warned his staff never to tell me that we've always done it this way, or I'm doing it this way because that's the way we've always done it. That's probably the last thing he ever wants to hear.
Tarpy, did you watch the video today? I'm just curious if you did.
I did. Oh. Yeah, that was very sweet of you.
You know what?
Comment.
I admit a culture problem right here within Talking Track.
What happened now?
The culture of exactly what Tarpy is getting ready to famously be
Hey now.
Yeah, sorry. I've obviously used that word wrong for a lot of years. See, changing habits. Okay, changing habits. Tarpy, one of the things that you've said, even about how I approach things within this show, one of the things that you and we talked about this even a couple of days ago on the show. You said that it frustrates you that I will say to you, this is how we do it. This is how we've always done it.
I feel like this is a trap.
It's not. As a matter of fact, it's a look in the mirror. Because
it's
because
if you are looking at scope and saying you need to change these things because the way you've done it is really not great, and then looking at people who want to improve something telling you something similar and saying no, it's not a good look.
What did Tarpy, what do you want to change now? We're crotchety old men. We like things. We're set in our ways.
That's right. I like the yellow clouds. I like the yellow clouds.
Anyway.
All right, but
she's trying to fire me, isn't she? This is my last show, and nobody's told me.
Griffin and I or Griffin is talking about the same point that Tarpy has made on this show, and that Cam specifically used in his own words this past Wednesday. His own words, that he doesn't want to hear. This is how we've always done it.
Oh, did you say that in your little 18-minute video? I only watched the first 11 minutes of it. And then Penguin, Penguin stopped me. I couldn't finish watching the video. I apologize if I remade your point.
I tried to actually get this video to 10 minutes. I couldn't. I tried. I'm
not saying that you should. I'm just saying I couldn't make it all the way through.
And Alicia, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. No, I tried to make this video 10 minutes, guys, and I couldn't. It started out at 24 minutes.
No, there you go.
I got it down to 18. But, man, there was just so much.
So basically,
yeah, please.
I've spent my entire life dealing with people saying, this is how we've always done it. And the thing that I usually ask that people really don't like is why. And when people don't have a good answer for why, that's actually when you get really annoying because you ask more questions. And this is part of my literal autism and ADHD. I don't know when I'm supposed to shut up. But it's literally something that I have dealt with in every phase of my career. And so whenever someone tells me this is how we've always done it, I'm like, okay, so why is that the most efficient process? Or why is that the best way to do this? Because I don't care how long you've done something. Is it the best way to do it? Because
Well, I can make it easier for you. This is your problem. In the next time somebody says, well, that's how we've always done it around here, you just slap them really hard.
That's usually how you get arrested.
No. But don't do it in front of other people. But just, why don't you just slap them? One person really hard.
Like, grab a fish?
No, your hand. Nobody will ever tell you that again the rest of your career there.
I usually take the much less physical abuse approach and just sarcasm them into submission.
And that's why you fail.
Well, it hasn't yet.
Jeez. Yeah, listen, she's batting 1,000, man. All right. Now, circling back, this is something that Cam specifically talked about on Wednesday. Was that he wants the team trying more things, taking ownership, and not simply saying, or not simply being told, do it this way because this is how we've always done it. And this is going back over to what Pseudo talked about. Yeah, no, I've got an issue. Don't care. Ship it anyway. There's been too much of that exists here, and that culture is changing. All right. A couple of other things that I just want to touch on real quick, and then maybe we take a break or we can continue the conversation because there's still so much more. But we did post a YouTube video. I'm going to encourage you guys to go watch it. By the way, and I guess I'll say this too. Maybe we say this, Tarpy, and then we take a quick break. I don't know where we are on the Twitch ads or whatever. If we got, I don't know if we need to take a break or not. Maybe not. Maybe we do special news bulletin and we just go with it. All right. But I sent this video. I made this video based on my meeting notes. And for the record, nothing in this video was exclusive information. Every bit of this was available to the entire creator team, which I am super stoked about. And we're going to talk about this also and why it's a good thing. All right, because I know
they linked the video in game. Rasker says, "Are you finally in the game? You're
for the
finally
first
there?
time
Well,
ever."
he's not really.
Wait, what?
He's not.
What do you mean I'm not? Yeah, it's right there.
Well, this UltimatDJz guy has an E, and you don't.
Oh no!
What? No, they did
it's
not.
Ultimate space
They
DJs.
did not
Lord.
spell my name wrong.
No. Oh no!
So no, it's some other guy that just looks and sounds like you and is clearly trying to just imitation is the highest form of flattery. You.
That's Timu DJs.
Yeah.
They spelled my name
TMU
wrong.
DJs. Because they anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. That's what happens when you order Talking Trek on Wish.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, shiz. We've really turned that corner on quality, everybody.
Quality.
No bugs here. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Okay. Well,
that's amazing. I love everything about that.
That is fantastic. Thank you. But I will point out that for the first time in 7 years, I finally got a video in the game. Lube has had a dozen.
Oh,
Griffin's had 4 or 5. All right. This is my first one. This is my first one.
Why do you mention Lube when I'm right here and I've had 3? You see, you've done it again.
Are you kidding me? I literally just said.
Do you want me to get Lube? Do you want me to get Lube in here? He could. I can beam him up.
Did he not hear what I just said? I literally just said Griffin's had 4 or 5. I just
Well,
said
the joke's
did
on
not
you
say
because
that.
he's got 6 now. That video is actually, I sent that in. That is me lip syncing to your voice in the video. That's why they had to.
You know what?
That's why they had to
don't
change
listen.
the spelling.
You're not listening to me because I just said your name. I said Lube's name and I said your name.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No.
Clip it.
Nobody heard that.
Roll
Nobody
it
heard
back. Oh my God. I can't wait for you guys to
Nice
listen to this
try.
on podcast. I can't wait. All right.
Oh, yeah, the podcast that you are producing.
Oh,
and
it's
adding
good.
that in.
Thank you,
in
Crocus.
post.
I know I said it. I know. Somebody clip it. I'll play it back right now. Thank you, Restrucci. Thank you. Thank you, J-Babes. Thank
Okay,
you,
thank-
7777. Thank you, Guffa.
I still don't feel bad about lip syncing to your own video and sending it in.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Yes, I finally got a video in game, which is awesome. And by the way, how did this happen? How did this happen?
Oh, you made a video for the first time in 2 years? Congratulations.
Bird.
Oh my God.
Hey, how's that cow video coming, by the way?
I'm working on it. I was set behind 2 weeks because somebody had my laptop.
Oh, interesting. No, no, sir. No, sir. Somebody left their laptop behind and they received it within a reasonable time frame. Undamaged.
And by the way, the packing job on that was insane.
I know. I paid extra.
Holy smokes. It took me 10 minutes just to unpack that thing. All right.
That's good. That's what happens when you use 30 yards of stretch wrap around a laptop.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was insane. Anyway, so this is what happened. I recorded the video and we put it up and I sent it out. I published it. A couple of people, a couple of staffers had reached out and said, hey, listen, this is good. We want these questions asked. Like, but I mean, that was what Cam said. I want you to go forth. I even told the other creators, go forth. All right. And get to your communities and ask these questions and let's get the back. We got 6 days, to which I very firmly believe that we're going to very rapidly see change thereafter. This guy doesn't mess around.
No, he does not.
All right, if he says he's going to do something, if he says this is what I want done, what I am seeing here so far is that is happening relatively post haste. Okay, I mean it's happening. Okay, people are not sitting around waiting for this guy to tell them twice.
No excuses.
Okay, so I think that this is a good thing anyway. So this video, they come back and I even mentioned in the announcement this morning that I was sending it everywhere. I sent it to the media folder because we've got a place where we upload all of our videos. I sent it to Scopely. I sent it to the staffers that I always resend my stuff to, and there were eyes on it in much the same way that Scopely from the C-suite down is paying attention to this product, Star Trek Fleet Command. This was watched by a number of people, and literally hours later, the message came, said, hey, do we have permission to put this in the carousel? To which I said, obviously not. And no, obviously I said, yeah, of course. Do that. All right. And it's not about, listen, I've been accused of a lot of things today. It's not about views. It's not, I have even said to other people, listen, we went with Ultra Show this morning. We announced Ultra Show. Then after that, we had, who else was on Ultra Show this morning? Tibbs was there. Jules was there. Quasel was there. CDB was there. Red Rum Ruby was there. There were a ton of people that were there. And then later there was more content and people have been talking about it all day. People have been talking about it all day. Guess what? That was the assignment. What? That was the assignment. And so one of the things, and I'm going to come to a point that I was gonna make earlier, and I guess I didn't.
Should I producer moment this?
No.
Tell you to do it after the break.
I'm not taking a break. It'll be fine.
What? I'm not a ghost.
What?
All right. Well, okay. We'll take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk about why the creator program is the right move right here. And by the way, does it mean that only the creators should ever be distributing information? No, that's not what that means. But I'll tell you what it means for right now. Okay? I'll tell you what that means right now.
Some big changes in the immediate future that everybody should know about, for sure.
For sure. and we're going to talk about why that's okay on the other side of the break. Listen, we're gonna do this. Tarpy wants to take a break, doing the producer mode thing on me. So we're going to take this break. We'll be right back. 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We've got so much more. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, the official podcast of Star Trek Fleet Command. We'll be back right after these words. Don't go anywhere. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back into the show. Holy smokes. Very, very excited. Lots of great stuff that we're talking about here today. Appreciate you guys all being here. What up? Whew. I enjoyed the music that we got to listen to during the commercial break, Griffin. As I was fired. I like this soundtrack thing that we got going on here.
Great channel. It is a great channel. No doubt about it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. My name is UltimatDJz. That's Griffin. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. And glad that Griffin was able to get topped up on some Ghost energy right there with 200 milligrams of natural caffeine from coffee beans, 1,000 milligrams of carnitine for legendary energy, epic focus, and none of the sugary crash. Use !Ghost in our chat right now to find your favorite flavor. Now of over 28 flavors, Griffin, available in our Ghost Energy store by using !Ghost and supporting our channel right here. We appreciate that. Griffin, what are you sipping on tonight?
I've got the classic Welch's grape with these beautiful new tropics, which I need in order to keep my brain focused to have this awesome conversation about the changes in our content creating program and community and how to get information and who's doing what and all that good stuff. Don't forget, DJs, we just released the beautiful Bubblicious original Ghost, and I'll try that for you next week. If you like the Bubblicious, it's great.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, just released in my area. I haven't been able to get this online yet. Find it in my grocer's refrigerator this past week was the brand new Ghost 7-Up. And I was very excited about that. That is now available in my area. I bought as much as I could. But right now, tonight, I am sipping on my favorite, Griffin. That is the maybe one of the first flavors. Actually, I think the second flavor I ever tried ended up being one of my favorites.
The one you fell in love with.
Straw
You know, they make that straw bango now in a little the little packet with the powder.
Oh.
And it's not an energy drink. It's a hydration drink. It has the what do they call Tarpitude with the BCAAs? Yeah, that's the BCAAs in this beautiful hydration powder. You can get that. You get 30 of those little tabbies for like $29. It's $1 a bottle.
Yeah, Polar Bear says, "Are you guys redoing stupid news?" No.
What are you talking about,
No.
Polar Bear?
All right.
This is the greatest and most delicious beverage I've ever put in my mouth ever. Welch's Grape Ghost Energy has no equal. Anyway.
There you go. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, let me say a couple of thank yous very quickly, because we do have a list of thank yous to throw out there very quickly. I'm going to say thank you to JYT. Thank you for your Tier 1 resub today. And Alicia, thank you. 30 months on Tier 3. Thank you. Plugster, USS Contradiction, 29 and 48 months respectively. Thank you. Johnny 5, 32 months on the resub. Turmoil, 22 months at Tier 2. Thank you. Trek Diva, 38 months. Rose Taco at 21 months. Thank you guys so very much. Lost In coming in with the 35-month Tier 3 banger right there. Thank you. Wilhelm, 45 months. Alligator Loki at 44 months. And BW Burn, thank you for the resub here tonight. I appreciate you guys so very, very much, and we appreciate your subscription and support of Talking Trek and associated properties. Let's talk a little bit about content creation. All right. Over the last 7 years, there's been a very few number of creators that have been that have had the longevity to stick it out with the community, to create content, to build a community, and those creators have built massive communities within this game. Over the last 12 months, Griffin, we've seen massive changes in not only the official creator program, but also what we're seeing in the form of enthusiasm from the community. We've seen dozens of new creators making content, playing the game, hanging out. The next generation, we had the Warp Drive 5 that founded the next generation, and then Dr. Iron Chef has founded like another group about that, and all of it is about fostering creativity. All of it is about fostering the empowerment of creating something that they want to create. And
all on the back of our bad producership, because anyone looks at this show because I can do that better.
Well,
and I'm going to start my own channel. That's why we're the 38th best content creators for Star Trek.
We've dropped to
No,
59.
Griffin, you're like number 3. DJ's is like 68.
Yeah, we've
but you find the mean there, and you come up with like 38.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Okay,
that being said, the reason I say it in such a way is because those are some of the priorities that Cam is also sharing with us about his approach to his team. And Cam has made it very, very clear to us over the last 2 weeks. Listen, 2 weeks ago, we did a very similar style of conversation. All right. We had this conversation with Cam. We came out. We talked about the conversation. Then last week, I did not have that meeting because of my personal family issue with Oliver. All right. So I missed last week, and then I circled back, and we had this meeting on Wednesday. Okay. That what I am hearing from him and what has happened as a result over these last 3 weeks is a complete fundamental shift in the information that's being provided to the content creator program. And I don't mean to an individual. All right. I don't mean to one person. I don't mean to me. Okay. What very specifically is happening, and any of the creators can tell you this, is there's a small group that sits in this meeting because schedules and time zones, and it's very tough. I usually end up doing it like I'll go and hide at work and try to do this thing. And then an extremely wordy, very lengthy, complete full of all the detail that I can muster write-up appears in the content creator Discord. All right, because I'm leaving nothing out. And this is one of the points that I wanted to make. The video that we made today, the one that's in the game right now, 100% of that information was given to the content creators the moment it dropped yesterday afternoon. Then immediately, the content creators get together. They start strategizing. They start forming their plans. They start deciding what they're going to talk about and with who and how and on what show. Just like an Arcfall kind of thing kind of happens. And by the way, this has only happened twice. It's happened twice. And we're trying to find our footing in this thing too. And I've told him, I'm like, hey, listen, this as far as I can tell, this is going to be how it works every Wednesday. I've got a standing calendar appointment for this meeting every Wednesday for the next 4 or 6 weeks. Okay. And we're going to be getting these progress reports, very much like what we did here today. We know that this information is going to be coming. We share it with the entire team. And then you get other creators like Ultravetica, like Tibbs, like Tarpy, like Quasel, like Jules Verne, like MJ, who start talking about this. And CDB, I love what CDB did last night and this morning. All right. The reason that I am so okay with this, and I know that some people have been fussy about the broader communication. All right. Some people have been fussy that, and by the way, true story, I believe that probably 20% or less of people actually engage with any content creator at all. We know that. We know that the majority
we do know that.
The majority of the game does not engage with content creation of any kind. The majority of players in this game aren't even on Discord. This is a very casual game to a lot of people. And so the question becomes, and one that I usually sidestep, because I have always said that my responsibility is to my community, right? You guys have heard me say this. My responsibility is to you guys, those who watch our channel, those who contribute or listen or contribute to our community, all right? The 17,000 people that you've got in our Discord, those are the people. Those are the people that I have a responsibility to. Except not really anymore, do we, Tarpy? because now the responsibilities have grown. Being an official content creator now actually means a little bit more than it did 6 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe even 1 month ago.
Yeah.
All right. So Cam is very, very serious, and I've shared this with the other content creators. Cam is very, very serious about using the content creator program for communications and education, which, by the way, that's what we've always done. It's what we've always done. But he actually wants to use it. He wants these conversations happening. Because what happened today? What happened this morning? Ultravetica started the party this morning, and that party hasn't stopped all day long. What has happened? What has happened? Conversation. Ideas. People coming up. Listen, there's a YouTube video, and actually, I didn't even know that this had made it into the game when I looked earlier. When I was still at work, and this is probably like 5, 6 o'clock, I looked, and there were 38 comments. All right, which, by the way, that's not, that's a lot for me. All right, I don't do a whole lot on YouTube, so I was pretty thrilled with the comments that we had. And all of these comments are they're answering questions about what we asked in the video, which is mainly about the 7-day streak. That was the big thing, all right, that we wanted to talk about with the 7-day streak, because I think that is the thing that we have an immediate opportunity to impact. All right? Now, some people have said that the information deserves to be shared with the broader community, and I totally understand that perspective. But I don't think what Scopely is saying, I don't think what Cam is saying is that he's never going to make an official announcement ever again. I don't think that's what he's saying. I think what he's using right now is a 100-mile-an-hour, hands on the ground, there's a team ready to do the work kind of approach. And I'll tell you this, what's happening inside the halls of Fleet Command right now is happening at 100 miles an hour. It is happening at 100 miles an hour. Nothing is taking time. Everything is we are in rapid fire mode. We are going to fix this game. We are going to do this the way I want to do it. I've been brought in here by Walter and Javier. I am here to do a job, and by God, I'm not wasting time. Shelby says he's using all of his resources, which includes the content creator program. I agree.
Yeah. People power.
The power of community, the power of the masses. Today, there have literally been thousands of people talking about this. Unturned Stone says, cool, who are you? I don't know. Ask anybody else. Just a guy. Just a guy.
The next thing, who are you?
A cat. A cat guy. It's a cat guy. I was a cat at one point.
Oh.
Okay. But
there was a time when you were a cat, a beer drinking, double beer helmet cat.
It was a cat. But the point that I want to make here is that you're right, community. We have the technology and the capabilities of sending out this communication to 200,000 people.
And the trust.
Well, we'll get to that. Nobody trusts me.
Okay.
All right, we'll get to that. 200,000
The
people.
tinfoil hats are on like Donkey Kong in the chat, Tarpitude. I don't know if you've seen that.
And I already have a list of people who are going to get to wear the Hug It Out shirt.
Oh, Hug It Out.
A really huge t-shirt that everybody has to wear, and you will wear it until you love the person.
Oh,
and are
no, you guys hug it out over there in chat. All right, listen, the big
We're
thing.
all good. We're all good.
The thing that I'm going to make this really quick, I guess. We don't need to spend a lot of time on it. There's more stuff from Cam. This is what's important. We are on a rapid roller coaster right now of a lot of moving parts. We don't want changes to take months. A lot of people have talked about in chat, oh, here we are, we're still having bugs in the game. Well, how much longer do we want problems? We don't want problems. We want them fixed now. And one of the
fixed right.
Oh, we want them fixed right, but we also want them fixed now. And one of the things that I think that we are seeing here is the opportunity, and this is what I mentioned in the video and what I'm going to say right here and now, is that you guys in the next 6 days have an opportunity to change something you've been complaining about for the last week or two. Literally,
Ooh.
you guys have this opportunity right here to directly influence streaks in 7 days. Okay? That is what you have the capability of doing right now. Now, we could have done a survey, right? Absolutely. We could have done a survey. We could have sent out 200,000 surveys, but then you have to have a time frame, right? So we're going to wait 7 days or 5 days or 3 days for everybody to turn it in. But then we also have to analyze the results. And we're going to, but by the way, before we can even put that survey out, we're going to have somebody write it. And then obviously we all know that a lot of times these surveys come out and the questions are bad, Tarpy. The questions are written in a way that they're ambiguous at best, and the interpretation of the results could be bad, wrong, incorrect. So we could do all of those things. Most surveys have flaws, says Candid Onion. Absolutely. Okay? Nicole says, I'm kind of more of a tell me what you want to do, or what do you want to do? Tell me what you want. And I think that's exactly what Cam is doing right here and now. I think that's what Cam is doing right here and now, is saying, hey, listen, we've got a boots on the ground team. And to the point of the broader community, I totally get it. I think that communications, blogs, in-game news, all that stuff is going to continue to happen. But right now, while we are literally rebuilding this game, because I let's call a spade a spade. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's gutting it. I think we're going to see a lot of changes. We started talking about the M calendar, and I veered off of it. I squirreled. M92 is coming. M93 is Anthology. M94 is going to be
open.
I want to say open, but the introduction of kind of a new, we're going to start to see kind of his idea of game design. All right. And
a transition arc,
if you will. And he said that it's going to be slower paced than we're used to, more experience driven and less product driven, which, by the way, I think that's great. We're going to see that in M94. Then beginning in M95. In M95, we're going to see the introduction of a new pattern called Seasons. M95. By the way, of which we've been very plainly and clearly told that if M95 is not ready or not to the standard of which he demands, he will back up and punt. He said as plain as day, if this does not pass my test, we ain't shipping it. Now,
there you go.
That right there, in and of itself, that is a culture shift. That is a fundamental difference in something that we've seen before. If an arc isn't ready, don't care, we're not shipping it. We just talked 30 minutes ago about how the words ship it anyway are going to happen. Polar Bear says these are words. Okay, fine.
We'll get there. That's the trust thing.
I hear that they're words, but what if we don't ship it? What then? What if, hey, the content pause, Polar Bear, M93 is going to be the anthology arc. Right? Is that action? I mean, I think so. That's the content pause. We asked for it. We daggone near demanded it, and he said, okay. So let's build it.
I'm pretty sure even M92 is like a diet M92, if we're being honest.
No, I haven't been able to see it. All right. haven't been able to see it.
It's sort of that, but also not that.
Maybe.
That's what I got from the person who wrote it.
So
we'll see.
So yeah. The introduction of Seasons comes in M95, where we will also begin to see the impact that Cam is having on the game design cycle. We're going to start to see more plainly some of his ideas and initiatives that are going to be working their way into the game. Now, here's the thing. I see, great idea, but they're still doing this stuff. Mud says, sorry, no trust. I get that. Some people saying that we're still having mechanical problems, and that's all true. I get that. It's going to take a little bit of time, but when we say, oh, yeah, these are only words, I kind of see that, but at the same time, like, it's hard to say it's only words when we're seeing already some of the things that he's saying, doing, and implementing on the backside and using, for example, the content creators. And so I know I'm squirreling. When I come back to this, why would he use the content creators in a way that's never been done before? Do I think
to build trust?
To build trust, that's fine, but not even that. Who are we talking to? You guys say that we're only talking to 20% of the community, that the general player doesn't have the benefit of the information that's being shared by content creators. So who are we talking to?
Oh, the tryhards. That's me.
The hyper engaged?
Yeah.
The people who might be considered the experts on the game?
The min-maxers.
The min-maxers? The people who know the game better than anybody else?
Yep.
Okay. If those are the people that you're asking the questions to, is it possible or even likely that their knowledge, their intimate knowledge of the mechanics, of the gameplay, their passion for the game, is it possible that your guys' opinions should be considered more than somebody who logs in 3 times over 30 days, who doesn't understand what the triangle is, who doesn't know?
That's where
Go ahead.
That's where I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's the problem with the trust, is that we've heard that before. And that's why you're hearing the word words. But you guys are going to see that the difference here is that the feedback is actually being listened to, and you will see it right before your very eyes, starting in 2 months or even next month, DJ.
Well, not only that, but I'm bringing up the point that I think some people are missing is you guys are the ones who are super engaged in the game. They want to hear your perspective, not the entire general population. They want to hear from the hyper engaged. They want to hear from the experts. They want to hear from the min-maxers. And for the record, let's talk about min-maxers for a second, because I thought this was a really, really cool thing that Cam said, and I'm going to throw this out there. Min-maxers. This is a super interesting thing. Let me find this comment, because he actually said, and tell me if you're in game design or if you're in software development or this or that, that a lot of games don't like, a lot of games, like the administrations of games, don't like min-maxers. They try to program their games. Tell me if this sounds familiar. They try to program their games to control the payout of the most efficient players. They program a feature based on the min-maxers, based on the most efficient way to play, so that they can control the best case scenario payouts. In other words, they define a min-maxer as somebody who receives the most out of a game for putting in the least, and they program a feature based on that, so that from that point down, everybody else who's lesser engaged or not as efficient or this or that gets less.
I think you're exactly right. I think that you might have confused some people. You said the best case scenario. Really, it's for them the worst case scenario. How much were we ultimately going to give out possibly? And it's this much, which would be the worst case scenario.
And they work backwards
from there.
Yeah, worst case scenario for them. I was referring to from the mechanic, the absolute most that you could get from a player's perspective, the best case scenario, the absolute most you can receive. And by the way, don't we do that? Don't we do that? Aren't there a ton of players that do that? Aren't those the most hyper-engaged players? Aren't those the most expert on the game? Aren't those the spreadsheet guys? Jules Verne, Chronox, the stat guys, James Bond, the teaching panel here. Okay, isn't that what happens?
It's what this whole channel is about.
Here's something crazy. Cam loves min-maxers. You want to talk to me about a philosophy that absolutely goes against the grain and is completely different than everything we've ever experienced in this game? He loves min-maxers.
Mm-hmm.
He said to me that min-maxers often know the game better than their own staff. And they teach them how the mechanics actually work.
Hand to God. Can you believe that the person in charge of this product actually said something as honest and genuine and accurate as that? We have never heard that before.
No, we haven't.
And it's true. And that ties right into that concept, TJs, of happy players spend money, because when min-maxers are doing well and they see the value for their time, then they become happy. And when they become happy, they will then invest in what can make them even more efficient in their time. But the whole model of the economy has to make sense for that to get there.
Well, that is one of the things. He does say that this economy is absolutely crazy. One of the words he used was that this economy made the least amount of sense of anything that he's ever seen. When it comes to the amount of rewards and investment and all these other things, he's like, there's no rhyme or reason. It's funny, we used to talk about the spreadsheet, the master spreadsheet that had all the values of everything that exists in the game. And we've kind of joked
the Billy from Accounting playbook. Yeah,
and we've kind of joked that thing hasn't been updated. Like, they still think that Ultra Recruit tokens have value. Like, we still consider an epic shard worth $5 or something crazy like that. We've seen it, right? We've seen this. We joked about how old and how out of date this playbook is. All right? And because of that crazy mess, the economy in this game is ridiculous. All right, absolutely. He says it is absolute trash. But he loves the idea of the min-maxers because they are the ones who can actually determine the economy of a game. Now, let me tie 2 points together here. If that is opposite, if he likes the min-maxer perspective because they're the ones who know the game the best, they're the ones who can determine economy. You guys, Jules Verne is the one who determines economy in almost every feature that comes out. He teaches you how to do it in order to gain the maximum rewards. Jules Verne is the director of economy. Crazy. Jules Verne is the guy who earns most of your rewards.
Take that, Billy.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? He wants those players to come in and be able to talk about how this game works. He believes that the game design and the economy folks should be consulting with the min-maxers, and therefore has already decreed that the content creators are going to be playing and looking at more economy-related things much further in advance. Because people like Jules Verne dictate the economy. Jules Verne teaches you guys how to earn the rewards. If Jules Verne is the one teaching you how to maximize the economy, does it not make sense that he's the one that gets to consult on how things are supposed to look instead of this? Tell me if this feels familiar. If you're not the most engaged, if you're not the most active, if you don't do exactly what Jules Verne says to do, then you get paid less. Then it feels bad. Then you can't pull the refinery but once every 7 weeks. They adjust down from the min-maxers instead of using the min-maxers to be the optimum reward. He actually says, I believe, that min-maxers deserve the best in payouts and that we should still be programming for the common player. That's not happening here. That's not happening here. We're programming for the min-maxers. And that means that there's less for the common player. That's pretty big culture shift. So when we're talking about, and this is the last comment I'm going to make on this because we got other stuff to talk about. When we're talking about some of these real-time changes, like 7-day claim, guys, that's why he's asking you. That's why he's asking the content creators, for the people who are watching streams every single day, the people who are in Discords every single day, because first, we need data and we need it fast. Second of all, you guys are the hyper-engaged. That's how he describes you. Hyper-engaged. You guys are the ones that are impacted the most. You are the most knowledgeable. You guys are the most passionate. You care most about the game. So your opinion matters to him. That's why the content creators were asked to disseminate this information. Not only that, but we're going to be pretty daggone fast about it. Okay? Faster than writing a survey and then waiting for it to come back and then waiting for someone to interpret the results and then probably throwing it into AI and then probably not interpreting the results correctly at all because the survey was probably written incorrectly in the first place. Right now, there are players out there doing exactly what CDB asked, doing exactly what Tibbs asked and what Jules has asked and what Quazel's asked and these questions that Cameron has asked. There are 2 dozen people out there right now doing the homework. There are 2 dozen people out there who understand the assignment. And next Wednesday, can you imagine the data we're going to be able to take back? And I'd be willing to bet, don't hold me to this, but I'd be willing to bet that very soon after you're going to see a change that hopefully you like, because that's what he's committed to with regards to 7-day claim. All right, I think that's cool. Anyway, so that's why I think that the content creator program was utilized today in this fashion, because this is going to be quick, it's going to be fast, and we want change now, not 30 days from now.
Does that mean that you can commit to doing an ArcFall video next week?
I'm going to have to. Because he is committed to using the content creator program for communications and education. Does that mean that there's not going to be a blog post anymore? Of course not. There's always going to be patch notes. There's always going to be these types of communications. But he's convinced that he wants to use the content creator program for what it was intended, which is education, gameplay, communications, talking to people, gathering feedback. Tarpy, Tibbs, Ultra.
Yes.
When the content creator program was created, it was created with the idea that there would be two-way communication. And admittedly, that hasn't been the case. It hasn't been.
Download session.
The program has been slow to start, admittedly, because there's not been a lot of upline support. This is just the way it's always been, hadn't it, Tarpy?
Don't even get me started.
Except he's wanting to change the culture. He's wanting to change the narrative. He wants two-way communication, and that's absolutely insane to me. Crazy.
Well, that's why I think these changes are being made, and he is empowering the CCs to say yes and disseminate this information. I have it on very good authority that you're not going to tune into YouTube next Thursday morning and see a Star Trek Fleet Command produced ArcFall video. You're going to have to go to your content creator to get the information and the dirt about what's going on. I hear that's a rumor.
The education
and I think that's
piece,
not necessarily a bad thing.
The education piece, the gameplay, the strategy, yes, that's going to come from creators. The patch notes will be published.
One's in chat if you want to see the cat come back for the ArcFall video.
We, community, are going to have to not blink on Hammy's behalf, because
the cat never blinks.
The patch notes videos are done.
Yeah, see, they all want the cat.
They want the cat.
You're told that you're not allowed to use the cat. They all want the cat. You got to listen to you got to empower the people.
You got to empower the people. All right. Listen, there's a lot more that we can talk about. One thing that was very lightly talked about was officer acquisition. I'm actually going to give a homework assignment to the community on this one. And by the way, this is something that is very, very early. Cam had indicated that they were looking at officer acquisition. Admittedly, they've pumped the brakes on that. They've slowed down. All right. We know that. We know that. Coda went away. Cadre, Paragon. Okay. Not feeling real good. I brought up Paragon, and he said, listen, this is a part of the economy thing that we're going to have some real talk about. He's like, because again, this economy's jacked. He said, we're going to have some conversation about this. We are looking at officer acquisition. I'm pumping the brakes because this system is fundamentally broken. Now,
there you go.
I suggested a couple of ideas. He pushed back on a couple of these ideas. And so I'm going to share this interaction so that we can kind of think about how we would like to approach his comments. Here is a perfect example of him actually pushing back on a little bit with some logic, with some economy knowledge. All right. My position was, hey, listen, I get it. Officers, you don't want them being tier 3, tier 4. But you know what? You want happy players. You want happy players spending money, right? You want people spending money. You want the economy to feel good. You want that endorphin hit out there. Okay, so let's say this. Let's pretend that we go back to what Bubba Joe said 5 years ago, and we say, hey, listen, just through engagement, just through participation, perfect or near perfect participation, but let's just say that everybody has the opportunity to earn the unlock. Let's say everybody has the chance to get the unlock. Okay, and then you monetize the upgrades. Then that is where you're getting the best benefit, the upgrades, the tier 2 through 5. That's where you monetize. That's where you make your money. All right. That was kind of my thinking on it. Now, we've had this conversation before. As a matter of fact, we had the conversation with Bubba Joe. And at that time, I warned people that if that were the case, we would probably never really see amazing captain maneuvers anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were just going to give it, then the captain's maneuver would probably never have a great deal of value in it because the captain's maneuver doesn't improve with tiering it up. Captain's maneuver just is. Now, this is how much I can tell you he already knows and understands about the economy because you know what I said? Or you know what his response was? His pushback on that, Griffin, was, well, then I can never give you a rockstar captain's maneuver. Now, let me tell you something. Who just joined the game. For him to understand synergy and tiering upgrades and the acquisition model of if everybody had tier 1 and you've got to monetize to get to tier 5, and he already knows, well, hey, listen, there's an ability that people can max out at tier 1. So, I appreciate that he knows this already. All right, that proves to me that he's at least done his homework and is understanding the mechanics of this game.
Yeah.
But his pushback on that was, man, if I do it that way, we will always have to monetize the upgrades, as you say, DJs, which means that the captain's maneuvers will never really be any great. If we have to monetize the upgrades, which is what you're saying we should do, give everybody the officer, monetize the tier ups, then the tier ups are where the good abilities are going to have to be. Now, my argument to that is, let's look at the officers for the last 6 months. Mimi, I feel like the game has kind of been prepping us for this already. There haven't really been a lot of captain's maneuvers. I feel like we have already, maybe accidentally, started to prepare for this type of economic transition in which most of these officers are coming without a captain's maneuver, and they're below deck officers or bridge officers already. And so that is something that we could potentially look at. Maybe it's a hybrid model of the two. Griffin, maybe captain's maneuvers are a little bit harder to get, but officers and bridge officers and below deck officers have a path of acquisition. I don't know. This is a very, very, very early conversation. And one that we brought up, one that they're looking at, but he is still on his information gathering tour and is still learning and absorbing information and trying to figure out what the right thing to do is here. I got to be honest with you. Out of those 3 key pillars, economy might be one of the more challenging things that he's got to tackle, Griffin. Because I don't even know if we have the right answer yet. Game Junior says, really, why don't we just reset everything and go to levels 5 through 10 on existing officers?
Ooh, what do you mean?
Well, that's possible, I think. Worth exploring, probably. Maybe.
Like downgrade officers that have already been maxed to level 5 or 10?
Adding level 6 through 10, adding tiers 6 through 10 is what he's suggesting.
Oh.
So, I don't know, maybe that's something. This is a very, that would be badge hell, wouldn't it? This is a
Legendary
very early
officers.
This is a very early conversation, but one that we did talk about. All right. And to be honest with you, we've seen a couple of things that might be on the edge of toying with one of his initiatives in the game. One of the things that he says that he wants to do, Griffin, is to abandon the following model. New arc, new hostile, new ship, 5 new officers.
As he should. I mean, there's 7 years worth of stuff to go on there and upgrade and change and make work. We don't need any. I mean, you could starve the player base with new things simply by paying attention to what's already out there and existing and making it new and cool and relevant.
Yeah. That's right. Duder says, please depart from that. That's one of the things that he wants to explore different. This is creativity. This is where he's wanting to try to create something different than what has been boring us for the last couple of years.
That's a great way of doing it. I mean, there's already so many active arcs in the game now, just from the last year and a half, that you cannot bypass with a mechanism that I forget what to do when half the time with some of these things.
Well, this is one of the things that they are looking at, and he even told me this is a very early conversation, have no answers yet. Still working on this one. All right. But officer acquisition is a tricky one. And by the way, he likes the idea if they're going to rethink the idea of new hostile, new target, new ship, new officer, yada, 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 then we've got to do more with what exists in the game. He actually likes the idea of challenges, puzzles, rotating things. One of the things we talked about is, hey, you can't just turn off an officer. One of the things that he likes, Griffin, is something we have seen in other games. Hey, for the next 3 weeks, this guy won't work. Kind of what we saw experimented with V'ger, except it never ended up rotating.
It never changed. It's still the same.
It never changed. All right. They had an opportunity here to rotate this. Instead, they just took an officer and permanently disabled them. All right. Now, be that as it may, whatever your reason is for that, that's not how it was supposed to be, Chad. That's not how it was supposed to be.
Not in the least. That's not how it was sold to us.
No.
And thus you spend all this money upgrading the feature so you can be great at it, and then you outlive its usefulness, and there you go. Your investment turns to nothing.
Well, not only that, you're exactly right. Okay. Not only that, you're looking at these things are so expensive. It's an expensive game. If we were talking 10 or 20 bucks got you an officer, then turning it off for 20 days, not the end of the world. But officers cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. You can't
turn it off for life. You can turn it off for 30 days. You can't turn it off for life. And that's what's happened.
I think that's part of his pushback is also, listen, our officers are so expensive that turning them off at all gives players a bad taste. So this is why my pitch is, hey, let's make the officers a little bit easier to get. Let's monetize the upgrades, but let's make the officers a little bit more freely available so that there's less negative, sour vinegar taste when we turn something off. But he likes that idea. He likes the idea of patterns, or puzzles, rather, challenges, and is looking very much at using existing content to create new player challenges and puzzles for people to be able to use as their engagement. As a matter of fact, I even said earlier, M94, we're going to see as a little bit of a different thing than what we've seen traditionally, where we're going to see more experience and less product.
I think that's great. Go and find the solution. And, you know, people in chat are making my point. Exactly. I've seen 5 different comments in chat for you listening at home talking about how V'ger was a failure with the concept of turning particular officers off because they never rotated. But this is my point. Nobody says anything about outposts, and they did the same thing, and they did it first. And why do none of you say anything about outposts? Because you've all stopped engaging with outposts. Because they become completely irrelevant. Even though we complained and cried and begged for them to stick around forever, nobody does them anymore because you don't need to, because you've gotten out of it what you want to get out of it and you've moved on. And that's the problem with this game.
Either that or you couldn't get anything out of it. There's a lot of people that still don't have, a lot of people still don't have Fleet Commander Cisco because of how ridiculous that economy was. There's another perfect example of ridiculous economy that I guarantee.
It's the directives.
Directives, it's also the cost of the store. There's no reason that players are only 20 or 30 or 40% through acquiring Benjamin Cisco right now.
It's wild.
That's insane. Okay, that's a part of this economy that is still ridiculous. All right.
I don't have Cisco either.
Nah.
For what it's worth.
All right.
Yeah, the feature is cool. The feature is great. We never did get our hostile speed up, but other than that, it can certainly be reused and made relevant again. And that's exactly the sort of thing. I don't know who Lorca is. That's exactly the thing that I think that our boy is going out there and doing. And that's why you put 75% of your staff in enhancing instead of creating. I love it.
Well, there's a lot. And so, community, this is where we'll prepare to kind of wrap up tonight. This was a great meeting. There was a lot of stuff discussed, and the next meeting is next Wednesday morning. I hereby issue the challenge to you guys, community. 7-day streaks. That's number one. Number two is what was the thing that I was going to ask the community, Griffin?
Who knows?
I don't remember. Streaks. That's the big one. That's the one that Cameron Stewart, Senior Vice President of Scopely, is asking directly for your ideas. This is a quick turnaround item. This is something that he agrees needs a change, and he wants to know what is the easiest yet reasonable and valuable item that can be done with a little amount of expenditure of resources. One of the ideas that I thought of there, Griffin, just to kind of cap one off here and show you guys how simple we're talking, I asked for the Incursion Loot EXO to be in there. We already see it in the challenge track. Challenge track, if you get to the 6th day, you get that 7-day isolated damage EXO. Right? And that what it's there. And then if you win incursions, you get, how long is that? A 30-day research speed?
7 days.
7-day research speed EXO. That's kind of what I'm thinking, except I kind of like the loot EXO. You guys, a lot of people talk about incursions for the loot EXOs. You guys like the loot EXOs, right? You guys love the loot EXOs. Here's what I'm thinking. All right? And by the way, why do we like the loot EXOs? It doesn't change the economy. FYI, I told Cam this. It doesn't change the economy. The refineries time gate everything anyway. You know what it does? It makes our chore list smaller. It makes us be able to complete our to-do list faster. It lets us be more efficient in the to-do items so that we can have fun doing other things that we want to do instead of spending our time doing chores. That improves. Omicron says that. I don't know. That improves quality of life. Should a quality of life thing be behind a 7-day? I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily quality of life. I think that's a reward. You log in for 7 days, and you know what? You get what? 3.
You get an efficiency. You should get an efficiency. You should not get a quality of life change. And that's the whole point.
I don't know that a loot gain is quality of life. You get to choose the loot, right? Like, I mean,
no, it's an efficiency.
That's a reward. That's a reward.
That's an efficiency.
Riskbreaker says that is a reward.
How about a token to choose something out of an event store? So if you log in for 7 days,
a lot of people talked about that. So I'm gonna pause you. I love that idea. I do. I think we're looking simpler here. Okay. His words to me were passive and minimal deployment time. I don't think a lot of people in the YouTube comments did talk about that, right? Tarpy, just like what you're saying, a credit, a store, a thing to go in and do. I think that he's probably not wanting, at least initially, not wanting to build a big store and things. I'm thinking, what can we say? Hey, in 5 minutes, we can swap out this reward.
Give them tokens towards the multiphasic meter store that's already existing in the game.
Perfect.
So that free-to-play can work towards primes.
Perfect. That's easy. That's something that already exists. We just swap. Somebody is saying 10 rare tickets. Love that. Vul says 10 rare tickets. That's a free rare ticketed event for people. Love that. Somebody says a rep loot EXO. Sure. Okay, maybe it rotates. Maybe it's a handful of daily resource tokens, so you can go and get Sigma Par, Trite, or something like that. Maybe, but we're not talking a lot of choice. We're also probably not talking a lot of variation. This needs to be something
Oopsie
relatively. It could be. Is Oopsie currency worth anything right now?
Why is
Sigma Par Steel better than the daily tokens?
Well, that's true. Oopsie currency could do it because you do have resources in there. Here's the deal. It needs to be something quick and easy. Quick and dirty, chat. That's what we're after. And I love the ideas. Some of these ideas that are coming in on the YouTube comments are brilliant. Event stores, currency, primes, all this other stuff. I love this. I do love this. And I think that we'll have time. I think that I think we're going to have time to bring a lot of problems into the focus and let Cam look at them and try to solve these things. But right now, he's asked me specifically for a zero resource expenditure, a quick passive swap out. Yes, DJ, I agree that bulk claim should not be locked behind a 7-day streak. However, DJ, a 7-day streak is one of my #1 priorities. A regular player, a 7-day active login player is my #1 priority to get people back into the game. My #2 priority is culture, tech stabilization, and economy. I want the players now who are back into the game to enjoy their experience. I want those players having fun. I want those players enjoying themselves, because as a result of them being in my game 7 days and as a result of them having fun, then the likelihood increases that they spend money. Instead of looking at it like, how can we extract cash? He is looking at it from a complete 180 and saying, how can I improve the playability and the enjoyment of this game to the point where I believe a happy player will spend money? And this is the perspective that we have begged for years, is to acknowledge that happy players spend money. If these are his priorities, then I want to do my best, Tarpy, to work within the parameters that he's giving me. So if he says 7-day priority is my #1 goal, you know what, Cam? You got it. You want something quick and easy that you can throw in there that's going to motivate players to log in for 7 days, then let's make it a good one, chat. Let's make it an easy one. Let's make it a good one. Hey, Riskbreaker says, hey, how about that 7-day scrapping XO? Maybe loot token, whatever. Okay. We're talking about something that has value, that is somewhat temporary in nature to keep people coming back. That is passive.
It needs to work until it doesn't, right? It's something that should be active on the 7th day that you get to keep until you break your streak.
Or it could be something that is re-earned, or it could just, not necessarily, it could be, hey, listen, on your 7th day, we're going to give you a dump of 5 3-hour loot XOs. That way you can use them when you want, right? I mean,
no, I hate that. That's a bad ask, because once you get your prize, then you don't log in for the next 3 days, then it does him no good. I think it should be something that works until you don't log in. That works on day 8. It works on day 20. It works on day 352 until you don't log in. I would do something like a crazy, literally double the impulse speed of all of your ships on day 7, and you keep it until you don't log in that day, whatever it is, and let me fly around the systems twice as fast.
And then that doesn't hurt people specifically if you lose it, but
it literally just makes it easier for me to live my life in Star Trek Fleet Command if I can fly around a system twice as fast and get things done twice as quick because I'm twice as speedy.
Guffa says, oh my God, you're so hot right now, Griffin. Oh,
thank you, Guffa.
God.
End the show right there. That's the idea. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
If people from the Twitch chat or people who do not have a YouTube account wanted to comment and leave ideas in one place for you, how would they do that?
Well, right now the best place is in the YouTube video that we've got up, the one that's in the game. You guys can go to your view screen and check out that video and go leave your comments. That's the best place I can do it right now because, and I'll tell you this, when I was given the communication that they were going to put this in the game, I was told already then and there that there were a lot of eyes on this thing, including Cam's already, and he's already sent me a message. So you want these things to be seen? I feel we're going back. We're going to collate these responses. I've got a meeting next Wednesday, but I do feel that there are eyes on this.
I have a 100% approval rate in chat. Everybody agrees that I've solved the problem.
Huge W.
Double the impulse
Griffin
speed.
For the win.
Throw in a little warp range too, or warp speed, absolutely. And then you just keep it until you don't log in that day. And people will never not log in. Are you kidding me?
You know what? Another one they could do is for every day past 7 days that you do your login streak, you get an extra 2 Dauntless starts.
I hate that idea, Tarpitude. I've already got the perfect idea. Why are you trying to change my perfect idea? Don't take my double impulse speed away. I want double the impulse speed. Listen, Cameron, if I get double the impulse speed, I'll play twice as long. I'll be able to do everything I want to within the game, and I'll be able to do it in half the time. That includes spending money in the game, because I'll be able to engage in all the things in the game. I don't have time. I don't have enough time.
Not enough time!
My stupid triangle go around the screen at like a mile an hour. Give me 10 miles an hour, okay? I will never stop logging in for the next 10 years. It's simple. Anyway.
Why was he not green for that?
There was no time. There was not enough time. I had to get full screen on that. I had to get full screen. Somebody clip it. All right, somebody clip it.
Cruzito, I have all the best ships already. That's my problem. Can I participate in the Athena leaderboard today? No, I can't participate in the Athena leaderboard. Why would I be able to do that? I can't, because I'm opsocked on my stupid ship. Okay? They're all as far up as you can go, but they're all too slow. They're too slow. And that is the problem. I need a faster ship. It's been 7 years. I deserve faster ships.
Darkfire is right.
Okay.
Darkfire is right. We already know impulse speed breaks this game. Look at arenas, okay? I don't know.
No. The Q broke arenas. Okay, do not disparage the good goddamn name of impulse speed.
Guys, I love you, but can we move on to some content leaks that are already in the game?
What? What kind of show do you think this is?
I want to know why there's a dangling fish hanging from my battle pass. That's question number one.
That's so nice.
That is exactly what I'm talking about,
that's
Griffin.
So nice. All right, listen.
So DJs, have you updated your game today?
Hang on. Yes, I've updated my game. But before we do that, we're gonna wrap up.
Guffle Waffle got it right there. You can send that to Cameron right there,
Thank
DJs.
you
Boom.
very much. Appreciate
There's your impulse speed.
Guys,
you're all very welcome. It's just like the narrative back button. You can send your cards and letters to the pergola again.
Here's your summary wrap up right here. This is the 60 seconds that wraps up the last 3 hours. M92, M93, M94 coming. M95 appears to be the beginning of a bigger cultural and design shift. The pillars and priorities are culture, tech stabilization, and economy. The key metric is regular 7-day actives. The conversation around bulk claim and 7-day rewards is alive. Value at lower price points is being discussed. We didn't even talk about that tonight. Meeting players where they are. That's a big one. Officer systems are being examined. Another thing we didn't talk about tonight. Alliances may become more important. And internally, there seems to be a push towards empowerment and experimentation. And yes, right now I'm reading the script that I used for my video. Now we need to hear from you, chat. What should a 7-day active reward look like if bulk claim becomes broader? Quality of life. What kind of value actually makes sense at $10 or $20? What officer system changes would feel fair? What alliance improvements would excite you without turning the game into a second job? Leave your questions, leave your comments, your thoughts in the chat of the YouTube. Be specific, constructive, honest. We meet again next Wednesday. The goal is two-way communication. I want to take the will of the community and all communities from all creators back into that conversation as clearly as possible. This is a moment, and this is a powerful moment. I feel like I need a soundtrack. This is one of those moments where feedback can be more than noise. It can be useful, it can be directional, and it can shape our game in the immediate future. All right?
I love it.
So let's do that. Tarpy would like to talk a little bit about something that's new in the game. We've got 2 new event series that are coming up, and we're going to tell you a little bit about those very quickly before we get ready to wrap. What do you got, Tarpy?
No, I was actually going to have you look at your battle pass. We can talk about events another day.
You know what? Hold on. Pause. Where's the pause button? I want to actually
going to pause me?
Yes, I do need to pause you because I want to show off something. You remember a week or so ago when I said that there was big news from the content creator program and I didn't want to steal somebody's thunder? Well, guys, here it is. Okay? Here it is right here and now. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 6 years, I can't get it up on my screen again. For the first time in 6 years, it is now official, 1,000% confirmed. Why can't I get it to show up? Ladies and gentlemen, the official community mod is now officially 100% accepted, supported, and endorsed by Star Trek Fleet Command. Congratulations. Congratulations to the authors of the community mod that started with Ripper ages and ages ago. It's been continued by a wonderful team of people, and that's NetNiv, and I know Chronox contributes, and Guffa is contributing now, and Pseudo contributes, and Killer Cujo contributes, and Killer First contributes. Jules contribute. Jules, what you doing, baby boy? There's this is so beautiful and wonderful and amazing to me that finally, and I'm so thrilled. I wanted to announce this last week, but again, it wasn't my news to share, but now it's in the game. So here it is, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you showing us? What am I looking for?
I can't get to the right screen. Hold on. I've got another way to do this. Let me just, because it'll take me a second to actually boot up. Let me try it this way. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The community mod, now branded as an STFC official partner and accepted and endorsed by Fleet Command. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the community mod, which is the first and only mod. And 5 years later, finally,
that is cool,
acknowledged by Scopely as an acceptable and safe to use community mod. Congratulations. That's big.
I've got to believe that Cameron has a hand in that approval.
I hope that he does, but I think that this is great. I think this is wonderful, and Salivar says, "Oh, it's official." So that's why it broke this morning. Actually, no. Let me tell you something, Salivar. Let me tell you something. No, this is how great this is. This is how great this is, okay? Because they released an update this morning that did break the mod. But you know what? Do you know how quickly they had a fix out?
Who is? Shut up, Karkin.
Who is? It's Tarpy. Tarpy, stop it. It was like less than 2 hours. It was like less.
That's great.
NetNiv. Well, NetNiv is banned. I can't mention NetNiv here. He's banned. All right. It was a couple of hours.
What did you do, NetNiv?
Nothing. We love NetNiv. It's just a joke. He's banned everywhere. It was instantly fixed. I mean, we're talking. These guys were on it. They fixed it. And it was done in less than 120 minutes. All right.
That's great.
Congratulations to the entire community mod team for finally, for 5 years, being pushing and fighting, and still, even 6 months ago, getting customer support tickets. Well, we don't officially support the use of any monitors or community mod, so if you got rated, that's on you. Bull crap. Not anymore. Congratulations, guys. You've earned it. You've worked so freaking hard, and I was thrilled to death. I wanted to announce this a week ago. You deserve every second of the praise that should come from tens of thousands of players who use your mod. It's the best thing that's ever happened to this game, and you should be incredibly proud of yourselves.
Well done.
Yeah.
Huge shout out.
Okay. Now, Tarpy, what was it? The battle pass. Let's talk about the battle pass. Sorry,
there's a fish in my battle pass.
There's a fish.
Yeah.
There's a fish in the battle pass.
Yeah, there's a fish. What's the other thing in your battle pass?
It looks like
no, just on the front of it.
Is that a cat?
No, don't go in it.
Is that
just
a cat?
On the front.
Is it a cat? What is that?
There's a cat in my battle pass.
Why is there a cat?
They put you in the game.
That's, first of all, that's not me.
Can you screenshot it and blow it up?
Okay, give it a shot.
That's the wrong coloration of cat.
Yeah,
that cat looks smart.
I'm sorry I'm making you work.
Wait a minute. That cat looks like Spock. Is there a Spock cat?
Oh.
What? Also, isn't that that's a badge? On
there
the
is a badge
cat toy tree thing?
Is that a cat toy? It is a cat toy, isn't it?
Is that a little wand? Oh, it's a... Oh.
Yeah. So we figured this out earlier. It's a moist dongle because the cat is a dongle and the fish on the other side is moist.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is the Venari Raw nuclear as well?
It is nuclear.
Probably.
It is a scratching post. Yeah, look at that. It's a little scratching post. You can see a little
that's definitely a TOS Spock uniform, 1,000%.
Guys, this looks like
look at the gold on there.
Right.
Is that
and
that looks like Spock cat.
I didn't even see that cat over
Rasker,
there.
are you still in chat? Yeah, Rasker, are you still here?
Rasker!
What kind of fish is that?
It's a koi, isn't it?
What kind of fish is that?
A koi. Looks like a koi.
No, it's not a koi.
Oh.
It's not
You're
being
coy.
coy about being a koi.
Oh, it's a pike.
Okay, read what. So
It's a pike. Wait,
and what kind of is that hair?
Oh my God, it's got hair! It's got hair! It's got pike's hair! It's pike's pike! It's a pike! Oh my God, that's a pike!
There is hair on that fish. What is happening?
That's a pike!
That's Matters' fish. It's Matters' fish.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I just Googled spot cat. I didn't realize the spot cat was a real thing. And that is definitely that cat.
I love the McCoy
What?
fish. That's a really good one.
The McCoy
And Nadia.
fish? The McCoy?
Wow.
What? Okay, I have to look at something.
What in the Galaxy Quest is going on around here? That's my question.
Me a second. I need a minute. I'm looking immediately at assets for next month. Just 1 moment, please. 1 moment. Here we go.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Hold on. I got you.
I'm looking. What is it that you're sending me? I'm looking immediately.
Are you putting it in something that I can see too?
I will. I absolutely. There was something that I flipped
I gotta close my screen for a
over in 2 separate playtests.
Okay, hang on.
What?
That's not that.
About assets. Sorry, I'm going to be loud typing. Be right back.
What is she doing?
Can I?
I don't see. Oh, now I've clicked the button. Oh, now look what's happened. Okay, we're back.
Can I leak something? Can I have?
What are you seeing?
I feel like I shouldn't do this.
There's something.
There's some waste on the screen.
There's something.
A little more leak.
And the assets.
What did I leave on the screen? What did I put on the screen?
Because it's in my texts.
Okay, well.
So.
Wait, what? What did you text?
Yeah.
I need to see.
I'll DM it to you on Discord. I gotta.
DMing now. Am I texting? Am I DMing?
Would you send it?
Hold on. I gotta find it.
Is it in the
and
circle?
I will
Is it
send
on my
it in
text?
the same platform. Okay.
Is it a carrier pigeon?
I will put it in the circle now. Now it's going in the circle.
All right, sorry, podcast audience. This is actually something that
and DJs will continue to hyperventilate.
See, I should have. Oh my!
But I don't. It's not.
Check the circle.
What is that?
Check the circle. Circle.
I have to leak it, Jules. I must.
Someone
I can't.
didn't do their missions during the playtest. Did they?
Can I share this? Please, Jules, give me permission to share it. I need to share it.
You definitely can't share that.
Why not?
It's definitely, that's against the rules big time. You should push the button for the theme song before bad things happen.
Move along.
Yeah,
now.
we're out of
Nothing to
time.
see here.
We are out of time.
Jules, you're telling me I can't do it?
Hi.
Fine.
Nope. Here, I'll give you something you can share.
Fine.
I will give you a section of it that you can share. There you go.
That's definitely not it. That's definitely not what you can share. That's definitely not what you can share on the screen. That's definitely not what you can share on the screen.
Look at the second thing that I
That's definitely not
said.
what you can share on the screen.
Tiny,
That's
tiny
definitely
little
not what you can share on the screen.
That was the wrong button, guys. Stop that. Get it off
We're all
the
fired.
screen.
We're all fired. We're all fired.
It won't go.
We're all fired.
Dude. Bad DJs. Well, I liked my NDA. That was fun. Fun while it lasted.
I just hit the wrong.
Thanks.
Guys, it's okay. It's not like this is going to be a VOD or anything. We're good.
Yeah, or like toasted
No
as a
one clip
pod
that.
either for like forever.
And this is why DJz is the 1027th ranked content creator, and why I just got an email that canceled my meeting with Cam next week. Oh, Griffin left. He's gone.
So I think if you are not a person who understands American fish, that joke would be very lost on you. American freshwater fish.
Oh, he's back.
And
It's
anyway,
just the
so this
lights
is
are
how
out.
they got a completely
Play
new
the theme
content
song.
creator
Play
program.
the show is over.
Oh,
Play
okay.
the theme
Good
song.
theme song.
Why are we still on the air?
I don't know why we're on the air. Here, we'll hit the button and we'll disappear. We'll disappear.
It's been fun, everyone.
The truth is out there.
This is great. How about those tinfoil hats?
I just have one thing to say to the audience before you get rid of the camera.
What?
Look directly at the bright light, because you need to forget everything you just saw.
Who's got the neuralizer? Who's got the neuralizer? We need the neuralizer. Here, a stat. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, that's it, guys. We're going to roll right here. Got a question in chat very quickly. Speaking of battle passes, have this month's winners been sent in? Yes, Darkfire. As a matter of fact, I thought those were going to be done today. They may not be. It might be tomorrow. But yes, they were all sent in. Everything is good. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks so very much for coming in and watching our show.
Our last show.
This is Talking Trek, the official.
This
podcast,
has been Talking Trek.
the official podcast of Star Trek Fleet Command. I am your host,
Formerly.
What are you doing, Stepfish? Ultra, that's really funny. Guys.
No. What are you doing, Stepfish?
Wait a minute. Stop everything.
What are
Does
you
this mean that
doing,
I'm not going to get am I not going to get my impulse boost now for logging in for 7 days?
Oh, look, the game news just removed my video. What do you know about that? Everything's great.
It wasn't your video. Ultimate had an E.
That's right. It wasn't even me. Ha! Joke's on you guys. All right, guys. Be sure to visit us online at UltimatDJz.com or TalkingTrekSTFC.com. UltimatDJzPlays.com, I think, works as well. There you can find links over to our YouTube, our merchandise store, our Patreon page for access to shows over at Studio B, and so much more. We appreciate you guys listening. Thank you. Oh, God. Yeah, the content creator program was fun. It's a good time. It's a good time. Hi, Belle. Okay. Well, we appreciate you. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for forgetting.
You don't know anything. All right, guys. We appreciate you one and all. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Thank you for listening live. Thank you to the official live studio audience. Thank you to all of you listening in playback. We appreciate you one and all. Be sure to follow, subscribe, share, all the things to Talking Trek. A registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person, UltimatDJz. For Tarpy, Griffin, Jules, and all the rest of the former official CCs. Yeah, for now, everybody. Good. Bye. Good night.
Why was I named in that? That was rude.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.